the maximum level expert. She thrives in interstellar riches. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 901, The Lily Tribe 2. Wang Fifei was stunned. He was wondering if Ubaba was playing tricks again, but he didn't know that the other party had invited a real master to come out this time. This is the legendary flying with a sword. Only his great-great-great-great-grandfather had seen flying with a sword. It is said that all masters use swords to move. He used to think that this was all a lie, but he didn't expect it to be true. Seeing that Wang Fifei stopped fighting, Li Tudu looked in the direction of his gaze in confusion. He saw a shining long sword suspended in the air, and there was a bright and beautiful girl on it. Grandmaster? Immortal? He opened his mouth in great surprise. Howl woof. Woof woof woof. Woof woof woof. According to his great-great-great-great-grandmother, any monster that caught the master's eye can practice with the master so that they can be ranked in the immortal class as soon as possible. He couldn't let Wang Fifei take away this opportunity, so he quickly asked the surrounding raccoons to stop fighting. Seeing this, Wang Fifei also reacted quickly, but unlike Li Tudu who chose to stop the fight, he immediately shouted for the puppies to fight back. Because he knew that the master was on his side, he only needed to beat the lynx away. Woof, woof 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 woof, woof woof. The barking of dogs one after another made Chujian silently step back a few steps. He thought the battle had entered a white-hot stage, but he didn't expect that when he opened his eyes, he saw Wen Jiu suspended in mid-air. The other party stepped on the long sword calmly, and the golden light on his fingertips lit up from time to time. At the same time, there were talismans falling down and firmly attached to the group of links. To be honest, at that moment he thought he had seen it wrong. Although he knew that Wen Jiu had some special skills, it was the first time he saw a sword that could fly and carry people. But he didn't ask in a hurry, he just closed his eyes again and pretended that he didn't see it all. As long as he can't see it, it means it doesn't exist. With the blessing of Wen Jiu's spell and the attack of the Paw Patrol, the group of fierce raccoons were quickly subdued. Seeing this, Wen Jiu controlled the long sword to land steadily. However, she did not rush to take back the long sword, but cast a spell to let the long sword float beside her. Because she wanted to take down the dog demon tribe, she had to show some skills. Wang Fifei called a dog demon to come forward and tied up the immobilized Li Tudu. However, the other party had already transformed into a human form, so when he led Li Tudu over, he looked like a country scholar walking a pig. Thank you for your help, master. A hint of joy appeared on Wang Fifei's pale face. The Lily tribe has been harassing my dog demon tribe's territory for many years, and has destroyed many houses that my dog demon tribe has worked hard to build. Master, don't look at the simple thatched houses where our dog demon tribe lives. It takes a long time to build that house. Now that you have helped to successfully capture the Lily King of the Lily tribe alive, our dog demon tribe will no longer have to worry about the destruction of the house. As he spoke, he pulled the hair on Li Tudu's body, making him grimace in pain. Seeing this, Wen Jiu said seriously, I really didn't expect the Lily tribe to do such a bad thing. They really deserve to be punished. Really? I don't know how the master is going to punish the Lily tribe. Hearing this, he was 200% spirited. If the master needs it, I can take you to the lair of the Lily tribe. With the skills that Wen Jiu had just shown, his admiration for the other party had reached its peak, and even changed his self-proclaimed this king to the extremely respectful Li. Just when he was thinking about destroying the lair of the Lily tribe to avenge the oppression of the dog demon tribe, Wen Jiu raised his chin in an unfathomable way. How about this? Since the Lily tribe likes to dig, let's punish them to learn architecture. Okay. He looked at him blankly. Learn architecture? He thought the punishment Wen Jiu was talking about was a thunderbolt, but the actual punishment was to learn architecture? What kind of punishment is this? Can building a house be considered a punishment? Wen Jiu saw that Wang Fifei was full of doubts, so she left a mysterious sentence. The mistakes made by the Lily tribe are not enough to bring down thunderbolts, but it would be too easy to let them go. So I decided to give them a chance to reform. As the saying goes, a prodigal son who returns is worth more than gold. After that, she walked towards Chujayan. She was so happy to have taken down 2 demon tribe workers in one fell swoop. After hearing her footsteps, the other party slowly opened his eyes. Are you so happy to fly in the sky on a sword? When will you let me experience it too? Next time, she smiled. Hey, when I think of so many laborers, and so many little monsters, my heart is so happy, that I'm about to fly. Hearing this, Chujayan couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. What bad idea do you have again? Wen Jiu turned his mouth away when he heard this. What do you mean by bad idea? I'm making use of their strengths, and letting them get better development. How pitiful it is for the little monsters, to live in thatched huts. It would be better for them to follow her out, to have a good life, live in a big mansion and wear beautiful clothes. And to get such good treatment, the little monsters only need to work a little. Such a cost-effective and profitable deal. Where can you find another one? Alas, she is so kind. Because all the raccoons who came to provoke were fixed, the dog monsters tied them up easily. Then, all the dog demons transformed into humans, tore off the talismans, and led the raccoons to the tribe. From a distance, it looked like humans were walking pigs. All the puppies were squatting in the tribe waiting patiently. When they saw the dog demons returning victoriously, they couldn't help but bark excitedly. Seeing this, Wang Fifa's face flushed. Boys, the raccoon tribe will not harass us again in the future. You know, he has spent a lot of effort to deal with the raccoon tribe over the years. Now that the raccoon king of the raccoon tribe has been subdued by him, he will no longer have to worry about being harassed in the future. It doesn't matter if there are still little raccoons in the raccoon tribe's lair. He can ask Master Wen to catch all those raccoons and send them to be punished together. In this way, the dog demon tribe can rest easy for a long time. Thinking of this, Wang Fifei looked at Wen Jiu and said, Master Wen, when will you set out to subdue the lynx who remain in the lynx's lair? I can bring the dog demons to help you. However, the other party waved his hand and replied, don't worry, I have more important things to do right now. Since Wen Jiu said so, Wang Fifei couldn't say anything else. He had to change the subject and return to the victory. You go and pile some firewood in the square. We must arrange a bonfire party after the victory. This is the second update of the day. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. Whispering. Thinking that I have updated 4 times in a row for many days. I might as well continue to update 4 times until the end of this month. Chapter 902. Beginning to fool people 1. Since Wang Fifei was there to take care of the group of raccoons, Wen Jiu didn't need to help at the bonfire party, so she took Chujayan back to the thatched hut. She was a little hungry after being busy for a while, so she thought she could go back and eat 2 slices of shabu shabu to fill her stomach first, but she didn't know if the 2 little foxes would be merciful. Oh, master, you're back. Hukiki quickly added a few firewood to the fire. After Wen Jiu and Chujayan left, he and Hu Baba didn't dare to continue eating, so they put out the firewood and waited silently. It's not that they didn't follow, because they wanted to be lazy, but as members of the Snow Fox clan, it was inconvenient for them to get involved in the struggle between the Dog Demon clan and the Rattly clan. Once they got involved, they would involve the Snow Fox clan, so they could only sit in the thatched hut and wait. While Hukiki was busy adding firewood to the fire, Hu Baba curiously came to Wen Jiu's side. Boss, did you really subdue the Lily King of the Lily tribe? After she finished speaking, the other party nodded calmly. Yes, we also brought back the group of Lily. Do you want to go out and take a look? No, those Lily are too ugly. I'm afraid I'll lose my appetite after seeing them. She waved her hand and rejected the proposal. She never liked dealing with ugly monsters. She had to walk around when she saw monsters from the Lily tribe, lest they were so ugly that they would affect her beautiful face. Although monsters can change their appearance when they were human, the essence of the monster cannot be changed in any way. Just as the water in the stone pot was boiling, Wang Fifei suddenly walked into the thatched house. Master Wen, do you want to join our dog monster tribe's bonfire party? After all, the reason why we were able to win this time is mainly because of your great help. He stared at Wen Jiu eagerly, and the innocent dog's eyes were full of hope. Fortunately, the other party did not refuse his invitation, but only said that he would bring another human with him. You can bring it. You can bring it. If you want, you two little friends from the Snow Fox clan can also bring it. He was so happy when he heard this that he even ignored the rules between the demon clans. Although he forgot who Kiki and who Baba still remembered. Let's not go. It's not convenient. Who Baba smiled and declined him. It's not convenient for us, the Snow Fox clan, to get involved in the affairs between your dog demon clan and the Lily clan. Lest we be seen by some uninformed demons who would think that our Snow Fox clan and the dog demon clan have formed an alliance. Under normal circumstances, it is no problem for demons from different clans to be friends, and few demons would bring up these things to discuss. But the problem is that this bonfire party tonight is to celebrate the victory of the dog demon clan over the Lily clan. If Kiki and Baba go, they will definitely be gossiped about by some passing bird demons if they see them. They haven't returned to the Snow Fox clan yet. If they don't pay attention, they will cause a lot of trouble and may be expelled as soon as they get home. Although Baba doesn't have deep feelings for her tribe members, it doesn't mean she wants to be driven out. Hearing this, Wang Fifei came back to his senses. He quickly apologized to Baba and then left with Wen Jiu and others. Because the dog demons carefully prepared a sumptuous meal, the boiled meat was left to the two little foxes. The pile of wood in the center has been ignited, and the gorgeous and blazing flames reach the sky, illuminating this starry night. Next to the large pile of wood, there is a small pile of wood, which is specially used for roasting food. All the dog demons that can transform into human form have transformed into human form, processing food and preparing fruit. As for those dog demons that cannot transform, they spread their hooves and play around. Master Wen, thanks to you, we were able to defeat the Lily tribe. Wang Fifei's face was full of smiles. I specially asked them to kill a few chickens and roast them for eating. I hope you don't mind. We, the dog demon tribe, are mainly good at tracking and hunting, and we are not very good at farming, so these vegetables and fruits are all wild. But don't worry, they are not poisonous. He took Wen Jiu for a stroll while explaining the situation to him. Then where did your chickens come from? Wen Jiu saw that each thatched house had a chicken coop, and he couldn't help but feel curious. Hearing this, he smiled and said, these chickens used to be wild chickens in the forest. Later, a senior learned to raise chickens from humans and began to catch those wild chickens and raise them in a pen. From then on, every household in our family raised chickens. As he said this, he began to take the other party to visit the chicken coop and carefully explained how to raise chickens well. He was a little worried that Wen Jiu would be dissatisfied at first, but he didn't expect that the other party actually listened seriously and praised him from time to time for being a good chicken raiser, which instantly made him feel a little elated. This is the master's praise, but he felt that he couldn't be so proud. He had to work harder to raise chickens well, and he couldn't live up to Wen Jiu's praise. Just as he wanted to continue talking about how to choose feed, the other party suddenly patted him on the shoulder. Old Wang, I wonder if you are interested in opening a chicken farm. Wang Fifei was first startled by the intimate old Wang, and then stammered, Wang, to be honest, no, because we raise chickens for ourselves, and we can't eat too many. Although the monsters usually exchange materials with each other, the chickens of the dog monster tribe have always been kept for themselves. These chickens are fed by them, so how can they bear to let other monsters eat them? Hearing this, Wen Jiu just continued to smile and said, hey, you look at how well you raise chickens. Don't you want to go up there? If you become a chicken king in the future, these monsters will beg you to give them chickens. Speaking of which, I just happen to plan to open a chicken farm, and I just need someone like you who can raise chickens. You are a dog talent. If you follow me, you can not only continue to raise chickens, but also improve your cultivation like Kiki. Isn't it a good thing? Seeing that Wang Fifei still had hesitation on her face, she changed the topic at the right time and continued to fool him. Anyway, I'll put it here. It's up to you whether you want to help me raise chickens. Let's talk about the yellow lantern pepper now. Did you pick it up or grow it? The topic was switched so quickly that the other party was stunned for a long time. Fortunately, Wang Fifa's position as the chief of the tribe was not picked up for nothing. Those yellow lantern peppers were picked up by us. There are many by the stream not far from the tribe. After saying this, Wen Jiu silently made a calculation in his heart. The dog demon tribe has chickens with plump meat and a large area of yellow lantern peppers. The most important thing is that the dog demons can raise chickens, which is enough for her to open several chicken farms. Not bad, not bad, a good harvest. After finding out about the situation of the dog demon tribe, she is ready to go find the imprisoned Li Wang. Today's third update has also been delivered, thanks again to the lovely little angels. 030. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 903, Beginning to Fool People Too. Although Wen Jiu came here with the intention of restoring her cultivation and suppressing the abnormality, as the saying goes, since she was already here, it would be a big loss if she didn't get a little more resources and human and demon veins. So she found a reason to punish the Lili tribe and asked Wang Fifa to take her to see the captured Lili king. The dog demon tribe locked up all the captured Lili tribe members in an empty thatched hut. Even Li Tudu, the Lili king, did not get the privilege of a separate cell. There was no other way, mainly because the dog demons were slow to build houses, and this empty thatched hut was also a common warehouse for the tribe. If it weren't for the fact that it was still early in winter, this thatched hut would not be empty. Li Tudu, who was tied up and unable to move, racked his brains, but couldn't figure out why the master was on the side of the dog demon tribe. He had clearly told the lynx to stop and was very respectful, so why didn't the master help the lynx? Besides, the lynx were known as divine beasts, so they were no match for the dog demons. Could it be that the master was just like the mortals, bewitched by the cute skills of the dog demons? Just as he was thinking seriously, he saw the master he had been thinking about, following Wang Fifa. HMPH, the master is willing to give you a chance to reform, so you should take it well. Although Wang Fifa looked frail, his strength was not comparable to that of ordinary demons. Even Li Tudu, who was taller than the original body, was a little behind him in terms of strength. So he picked up Li Tudu, who was thrown in the corner, and threw him in front of Wen Jiu. You bastard. If you have the guts, don't tie me up with a tight knot. Li Tudu's face fell down, and he was instantly covered with dirt. Hearing this, Wang Fifa's eyes widened immediately, and the corners of her mouth, that were originally raised, drooped down. Master Wen, look at him. He is so presumptuous in front of you, let alone in front of us little demons. I really didn't mean to say bad things about the Lili tribe. These Lili like to swear and bully the weak. Now that you have seen it, do you still want to forgive them? Wen Jiu finally understood why Wang Fifa's original body was so tall and mighty, but he turned into a weak young man when he turned into a human form. It's a pity that she didn't buy it at all. When it comes to green tea, who can tease better than the two beautiful sisters in her family? Forget it, as long as the Lili sincerely repent, I'm still willing to give them a chance, she said, and helped Li Tudu, who fell to the ground. I don't care about your evil deeds in the past, but now you must mend your ways. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to improve your cultivation. To deceive people, you have to use both soft and hard tactics. For someone like Wang Fifa, who is kind by nature, you can just use the soft tactics to deceive him. But Li Tudu is obviously a fierce one, so you have to use the hard tactics to suppress his momentum first. The embarrassed Li Tudu thought that the master would dislike him, but he didn't expect that the other party would be as friendly and gentle as the legend said. This softened his attitude instantly. Master, don't listen to Wang Fifa's nonsense. I love to help the weak and uphold justice the most. We, the Lili tribe, often help some weak demon tribes build homes. For example, the rat demon tribe and the elk tribe have asked us to build houses. Master, if you don't believe it, you can go and ask them. After entering the forest, walk 10 miles east, and you will find the elk tribe. Hearing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. If that's the case, then why did you destroy the houses of the dog demon tribe? I heard from King Wang that you come to harass them every once in a while. That's because their dog demon tribe has pulled out all the thatch. Li Tudu complained aggrievedly. We, the Lily tribe, also need thatch to live, but they took it all away, so we had to come here to snatch some back. Before Wen Jiu could answer, Wang Fifei shouted, Wang, you Lily tribe don't have many Lily, how much thatch do you need? We have so many puppies in the dog demon tribe, each puppy must have a nest. Besides, we still need thatch to build houses, so we can only search for thatch everywhere. Besides, you can't steal our thatch, even if you are short of thatch. After saying that, Li Tudu immediately found a reason to retort. Can't your puppies sleep together? Although there are few Lily, we are big. It takes a lot of thatch to build a nest. In this way, one dog and one Lily made a fuss for a long time. It was not until Chu Jian came in to remind them that the bonfire party was about to start that they calmed down. So when Jiu asked Wang Fifei to go out and take charge of the situation first, and she stayed alone to talk with Li Tudu. Under her hard work, the other party handed over all his underwear. The Lily tribe was indeed, as she guessed, good at digging holes and building houses. However, unlike the dog demon tribe's skill of raising chickens, each raccoon has the talent of building houses. It can be said that she has picked up a construction team. At the end of the conversation, she expressed her inclination to cooperate with Li Tudu. The other party is worthy of the name of the divine beast. Even if he was fooled by her, he did not forget to fight for the welfare of the raccoon tribe. Fortunately, the request made by Li Tudu was not difficult. He just wanted her to solve the problem of thatch. This was too simple for Wen Jiu. The dog demon tribe robbed the thatch for two reasons. One was to build a nest, and the other was to build a house. According to the dispute between Wang Fifei and Li Tudu, she could conclude that the dog demon tribe mainly spent the thatch on building a small nest. After all, after the house is repaired, as long as there is no strong wind and no damage, there is no need to consume the thatch. But building a small nest for sleeping is different. Some puppies are young and not very smart, so they are particularly easy to do something in the nest. The nest is wet and dirty, so new thatch must be replaced. So this back and forth, the consumption of thatch increased. When Jiu left the thatched hut, where the Lily tribe was imprisoned, and went to find Wang Fifei, who was hosting the party. Because the party had already started, the other party didn't need to worry about anything, so he just followed her to the corner. Old Wang, I heard that your thatch consumption rate is very high, she said, and took out a doghouse out of thin air. Have you ever considered changing the kennel to this one? Even if this one is on top, you can wash it and dry it in the sun and continue to use it. Fortunately, she bought a lot of pet supplies before leaving, otherwise she really couldn't take out the real thing to fool Wang Fifei. The moment the other party saw the doghouse, his two dark eyes lit up. Master, is this specially for our dog demon tribe? Well, you can also understand it this way. She threw the doghouse in her hand to the ground. Why don't you call a puppy to come over and try it out to see if this kennel is more comfortable or the thatch is more comfortable? However, as soon as she finished speaking, Wang Fifei transformed into a mighty and tall dog. The other party jumped directly into the doghouse and lay down, so comfortable that even his tail couldn't stop wagging. I really envy you for having such a comfortable bed to sleep in, Master. I wish I could sleep in such a bed every day. Wen Jiu couldn't help but fall silent after hearing this. How could she explain that she didn't sleep in a doghouse? This is the fourth update. Yay, I love the little angels. 030. Chapter 904. Beginning to fool people 3. In short, Wang Fifei was successfully fascinated by the doghouses. When he heard that, as long as he worked well under Wen Jiu, he could get countless doghouses for the dog demon tribe, he immediately said that he was willing to do anything. Of course, if he had to do evil, he was still unwilling to do it. He still had a bottom line as a dog demon. Other than that, everything else was fine. I can only take out 40 doghouses now, which should be enough for the puppies for a while. In fact, Wen Jiu bought hundreds of dog houses in advance, but she didn't take out all of them for the dog demon tribe, because she considered giving them to the snow fox tribe. Now that she has set aside a part of them to win over the dog demon tribe, it is already the greatest tolerance of Hukiki. After all, Hukiki was the first to work under her, and she had to be a little different in this treatment. She knew that the other party wanted to return home in glory, so she had to give him enough face. But she really didn't expect that these monsters all had a special liking for pet supplies. Is this some kind of weird animal instinct? Enough. This nest is big. Let the puppies sleep in it. Wang Fifei laughed so hard that she couldn't close her mouth. But Master Wen, is what you just said true? As long as I give some of the straw to the Lily tribe and work with you, I can exchange for these dog houses. Hearing this, Wen Jiu smiled very friendly. Of course. Not only that, you can also exchange for beautiful clothes for the puppies, and the toys I just gave you can also be exchanged. When the other party heard her words, the corners of his mouth almost grinned to the back of his head, and he quickly agreed to give up the straw. Now that Wang Fifei has been dealt with, she should continue to talk to Li Tudu. So she went into the thatched house, where the Lily tribe was imprisoned, and began to bargain with Li Tudu. Master, I'm very grateful for helping our Lily tribe solve the thatch problem. The other party transformed into a skinny middle-aged man, and no longer talked to her as Lily's body, but you said that you want our Lily tribe to work for you, and this little benefit alone may be a little. When Jiu saw Li Tudu's hesitant look and knew that this Lily was not so easy to fool. But it was a bit unrealistic for this Lily to bargain with her. So she put her two fingers together, summoned the long sword with a whoosh, and placed it directly in front of Li Tudu. I suddenly thought that since you, the Lily King, have been captured, the Lily tribe should also change its king. She still had a kind smile on her face. I heard that you have a younger brother, who seems to be still in the Lily tribe's nest. Why don't I go talk to him? In fact, she could understand that Li Tudu wanted more benefits, but the problem was that she had specifically asked about it when she talked to the other party before. At that time, Li Tudu vowed that, as long as the thatch problem was solved, everything would be fine. As a result, after she solved the problem of thatch, the other party wanted to take advantage of the situation and ask for more benefits. She was most annoyed by such things that went back on one's word. As soon as she finished speaking, Li Tudu's face suddenly changed. Master, spare me. I just want to help the Lily tribe to have a good future. I really don't have any bad intentions. Although our Lily tribe is known as a sacred beast, many humans don't know our existence. So few humans are willing to worship us. Our abilities cannot be compared with other sacred beasts, so we have fallen to the point of competing with dog demons for thatch. Master, please don't blame me. I was worried about the Lily tribe for a while, so I wanted to ask for more benefits. The other party hurriedly explained, but when Jiu just stood aside and watched coldly. Regardless of whether Li Tudu's words were true or false, she had to suppress the other party's arrogance. Otherwise, if she cooperated with the Lily tribe in the future, she would have to be on guard against the knife behind her all the time, which would be too tiring. Anyway, it doesn't matter if Li Tudu doesn't want to cooperate. She had asked Wang Fifei about the situation before. The number of Lily is much less than that of dog monsters, but the advantage is that the fighting power of Lily is not bad, and each Lily has its own talent for construction, so the monsters in this area are still willing to interact with Lily. If the Lily tribe hadn't frequently come to rob the thatch of the dog monster tribe, the dog monster tribe would not have had a feud with the Lily tribe. However, although the number of Lily is small, the internal struggle has been constant. Li Tudu also has a younger brother named Li Kaojin, who has never gotten along with Li Tudu, and has also started a factional struggle within the tribe. Because Li Tudu always likes to climb the pole, most of the Lily in the tribe support Li Kaojin. It's just that Li Kaojin's physique is not very good, and he often stays in the house to recuperate, so Li Tudu can occupy the position of the king of Lily. Don't say these pitiful words. I don't like to cooperate with untrustworthy monsters, so no matter how many excuses you make, it's useless. When Jiu took back the long sword that was across Li Tudu, since it's your first offense, I reluctantly forgive you this time. Seeing her take back the long sword, Li Tudu breathed a sigh of relief. Master, what do you think about the cooperation? To be honest, he definitely wanted to cooperate with Wen Jiu. Working with a master who knows fairy arts, wouldn't his cultivation level increase rapidly? After his cultivation level increased greatly, he could easily suppress the troublesome Li in the tribe. However, what he never expected was that because of his performance just now, Wen Jiu actually gave up cooperation with him and decided to go to the Li tribe to talk to Li Keojun. Master, I really know I was wrong. Li Tudu shouted in a hurry. Don't go to Li Keojun. He is a black-hearted guy. He will definitely kill you. Master. Wen Jiu paused for a moment after hearing his words, and then strode out of the thatched hut, as if he hadn't heard anything. Wang Fifei had been waiting patiently outside, and when she saw Wen Jiu coming out, she asked quickly, Master Wen, is Li Tudu unwilling to cooperate with you? I said he is very shameless. He actually wants to take advantage of the situation to get more benefits. It doesn't matter, with his spineless character, I'm not interested in cooperating with him. Wen Jiu shrugged nonchalantly. You can let Li go later, and let him go back, to inform Li Keojun that I will visit him early tomorrow morning. She wanted to cooperate with Li Tudu at first, but the other party's spineless appearance really made her feel uneasy. Because she not only wants to develop the Desolate Star, but also the Land of Brick Star. She is now a small landowner after all. She can't just leave the land unused and pay taxes for nothing. So she has to be careful in picking out the Evaldoets, lest she gets into trouble in the future when the Emperor is far away. The first update of the day has been delivered. Please check it out. Little Angels. 030. Chapter 905 Li Keojun 1. The bonfire party of the dog demon tribe is no different from that of humans, except that there are a few more acrobatic performances. There are dogs jumping through fire rings, dogs walking on wooden stakes, and dogs standing and dancing. Wen Jiu inexplicably felt like children being forced by their parents to perform during the Chinese New Year. During the period, many puppies wagged their tails in front of her, so she took out some pet snacks to distribute. Who knew that, after eating the snacks, these puppies kept jumping on her? If Chu Jian hadn't been quick and dragged her back to the thatched house, I'm afraid she would be trapped in the sea of puppies again. After the bonfire party, Wen Jiu and his group rested in Wang Fifei's thatched house. Because they had been on the road for a whole day and were busy for so long, they fell asleep quickly, even if they slept on the thatched pile. By the way, Wen Jiu prepared a lot of cloth mattresses and sleeping bags before leaving, so she took out the things and arranged them before going to bed. The thatched pile was covered with thick mattresses, so it was not uncomfortable to sleep on it. Wang Fifei was even more excited and couldn't wait to go with Wen Jiu. The Lily tribe is just ahead. Master Wen, please be careful. It rained last night and the road is a bit slippery. Early the next morning, Wang Fifei took Wen Jiu out and went to the Lily tribe to find Li Keojun. Chu Jian naturally went with Wen Jiu, but he didn't interfere with what he was going to do. He just followed closely to prevent any accidents. The Lily tribe is located at the foot of the mountain. Unlike the simple thatched houses of the dog demons, they live in houses made of stones. Master Wen, don't worry, the dog demons I brought with me this time are all elites. If those Lily dare to offend you, I will definitely beat them to a pulp. Wang Fifei was talking when he saw a pale young man coming. Even though the other party was wrapped in thick clothes, he looked frail. Compared with the frailty he pretended to be, he was nothing. Ahem, you are the master who came from afar, right? Li Keojun's voice was very weak. If it weren't for the fact that no one was making noise at this moment, it would be difficult to hear what he was saying. Unlike the swords and knives that Wen Jiu imagined, Li Keojun's attitude was quite respectful. After saying hello, he greeted them and walked into the tribe of the Lily tribe. I don't know if Li Keojun had told them in advance, but all the Lily in the tribe bowed their heads respectfully and stood quietly on both sides of the only road. Ahem. Master, I hope you don't despise our simplicity. Li Keojun coughed for a long time every time he said a word, which showed that he was indeed as weak as the legend said. Seeing this, Wen Jiu smiled and waved his hand to indicate that he was fine. Although such a stone house is very simple, compared with the thatched house where the dog demons live, it can be regarded as a luxurious house. Before entering Li Keojin's house, Wang Fifei left all the dog demons he brought outside, which was considered to be enough face. I won't say any polite words, I'll just get straight to the point. Wen Jiu could tell from Li Keojin's various behaviors that the other party should not be a raccoon. That is easy to fool, so she didn't use any roundabout words. Sure enough, when Li Keojin saw that she didn't pretend to be polite to build a relationship, a smile appeared on his pale face. But since we are cooperating, there will naturally be benefits. In addition to the thatch I promised Li to do before, I can also agree to another condition that is not excessive. By the way, I can treat your injuries as long as you cooperate sincerely. As soon as she finished speaking, a hint of joy flashed across Li Keojin's eyes. But the other party was indeed not easy to fool, and he quickly regained his composure. Master, I don't mean to doubt you, but can you really cure my injury? Li Keojin coughed a few times when he said this. This is a hidden disease I have had since I was a child. It's not an ordinary injury. It's not that he hasn't thought about curing the disease over the years, but even the powerful Beze said he was powerless. He was only told to wait for the opportunity, and when the opportunity comes, a noble person will help him. Could it be that the human in front of him is the noble person that Beze said? Hearing this, Wen Jiu stretched out his hand. Come, I'll take your pulse and you'll know. Although she has been frustrated repeatedly in alchemy, her medical skills are still quite good. In the entire sect, she is only slightly worse than the senior sister who majored in medical skills. Li Keojin handed over his hand doubtfully. He still wanted to cure the disease. This disease not only made his body weaker, but also caused his cultivation to slowly decline. If this continues, he will even find it difficult to transform his spiritual power. Sure enough, there is a kind of cold poison in your blood. Wen Jiu's eyebrows relaxed, revealing a relaxed look. No wonder your face is so pale, and even your lips are obviously dark blue. If I'm not wrong, you always have cold limbs and are weak all over. If this cold poison is not removed as soon as possible, your cultivation will gradually decline until there is no spiritual power left in your body, and you will become an ordinary raccoon. When you have no spiritual power to protect your body, this cold poison will affect your life. The more Li Keojin listened to her, the heavier the stone in his heart was. Because every point she said was correct, and these were things that other monsters didn't know, only Beze, who was elusive, knew. So it was not the case that she was guessing blindly. But this cold poison is not impossible to cure. Wen Jiu said as he took out a silver needle, roasted it with deep sea blue flame for a while, and then pierced Li Keojin's wrist. Do you feel that the coldness in your body has eased now? This set of silver needles was made when she was making earrings, because there were too many leftover scraps. It's just that no one around her needs acupuncture, so she has never used it. Li Keojin was a little panicked at first, but when he felt his body warming up, the big stone in his heart fell to the ground instantly. It seems that Beze did not lie to him. He really met a noble man. When Wen Jiu pulled out the silver needle, he knelt on the ground. Master, as long as you can cure my illness, I can agree to anything you say. I feel relieved with your words, but I hope you won't be like your brother, a raccoon who goes back on his word. Wen Jiu took back the silver needle with a smile. Seeing this, he became more certain of his thoughts. The other party can actually take things from a distance. It seems that this girl is really a master. Master, don't worry. I can swear to heaven that I will abide by the laws of heaven. He made the promise quickly, fearing that Wen Jiu would not believe it. It was his disappointing brother's fault. He didn't support such a powerful master, but wanted to take advantage of him to get more benefits. This master was so good-tempered. As long as he followed him, he would definitely get more benefits in the future. He really didn't understand Li to do. He didn't see such a good opportunity. He deserved to be captured by the dog demon tribe. Today's second update is also delivered. Thank you for the support of every little angel. 030. Chapter 906 Li Keojin 2. But Wen Jiu didn't ask Li Keojin to swear in the end, not because she suddenly became kind-hearted. but she felt that, in order to win over Lee Kyo-jin, she needed to give him a certain amount of trust. As the saying goes, kindness and force go hand in hand, and the oath must be made, but the time has not come yet. Besides, she knew at a glance that Lee Kyo-jin was different from Lee Tu-do. The former was smart but not arrogant, while the latter was like a half jar of water. Moreover, most of the Lili of the Lili tribe surrendered to Lee Kyo-jin. You must know that Lee Kyo-jin, first of all, has no cultivation, and secondly, he is in poor health. But he can get the support of so many Lili, which shows that he is very good at winning over the hearts of the monsters. To do this, you must first keep your promise. Especially in the case of Lee Tu-do, who would go back on his words. If Lee Kyo-jin wanted to consolidate his position, and buy the hearts of the monsters, to become the king of Lili, he must keep his word. So she politely rejected Lee Kyo-jin's oath and only asked him to order the Lili to find herbs first. When she comes back, after finishing other things, she can start to remove the cold poison. Master, are you going to the Snow Fox tribe? After Lee Kyo-jin briefly understood the cause and effect, he gave a very enthusiastic suggestion. The Snow Fox tribe lives in the extremely cold land in the north. It may take some effort to go there. Why don't I lend you the car of the Lily tribe? Then I will go to the elk tribe next door and find you a few elks to pull the car, so that you can be more relaxed on the road. Hearing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but smile happily. Since you said so, I won't refuse. But will it be too much trouble for the elk tribe? Can they accept pulling a car for humans? Most monsters have resistance to humans, so she was a little worried that the elk tribe would refuse. Although she can fly with a sword, she has to bring one person and two foxes. It's just an ordinary long sword, not a rare sword, and it really can't bear the weight. So when Lee Kyo-jin suggested that she could borrow the car, she was really relieved. If she were to walk to the Snow Fox tribe on foot, it would take more than a month. She wanted to finish these things as soon as possible and go back to accompany Uruman to recuperate. Yes, don't worry about this. Lee Kyo-jin said this and started coughing excitedly. Cough, cough. Our Lily tribe has always been on good terms with the Elk tribe, and I have a pretty good relationship with the Elk King. So don't worry about this matter. I will make sure you set off comfortably. Seeing this, Wen Jiu first took out a bottle of pills. During the time I'm away, take one pill every 3 days. It can slightly relieve your cold poison. Although she estimated that Lee Kyo-jin could still hold on for a while when she checked his meridians. But when she saw Lee Kyo-jin's sickly appearance, she was really worried that if she left, he would be suppressed by the released Lee Tu-do, and her efforts would be in vain. So she still gave Lee Kyo-jin a bottle of pills and asked him to take it during this period so that he could at least hold on until she came back. However, because she had a special furnace blasting skill, she didn't have many pills on her, so it was very good to be able to spare a bottle. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master. Lee Kyo-jin first thanked her profusely and took the pills, then put them in the bedside table like a treasure. Since the problem of the Lily tribe was temporarily solved, Wen Jiu had no intention of staying any longer, so she took Wang Fifi and Chu Jian, as well as the dog demons who followed them, back to the dog demon tribe. In order to avoid suspicion, Hu Kiki and Hu Baba stayed in the thatched hut and never came out. Now that they saw Wen Jiu and Chu Jian returned safely and brought the news that they would soon set off for the Snow Fox tribe, the two little foxes were so excited that they danced with joy. I knew that asking the dog demon tribe for help was the best choice. Hu Baba raised his head with a little pride, but it's all thanks to our smart and resourceful boss. Otherwise the Lily tribe would never be willing to lend us a car. Mainly because she had quarreled with Ukiki on the spaceship before, and the other party did not agree to ask the dog demon tribe for help at all, so she couldn't help but want to get back at them. If she hadn't proposed to ask the dog demon tribe for help, and she happened to know Wang Fifi, how could they get a means of transportation? Of course, Wen Jiu contributed the most to this matter, so she didn't forget to praise him. Oh, if you say so, then so. Hu Kiki was too lazy to argue with Hu Baba. When he thought about returning to the Snow Fox tribe soon, the whole fox was so excited that he didn't want to care about these trivial matters at all. Just when they were chatting happily, Wang Fifi suddenly walked in. Master Wen, the other party said shyly, if you go to the Snow Fox tribe, should I go with you? Hearing this, Wen Jiu shrugged indifferently. It would be best if you can go, but it doesn't matter if you can't go. She didn't say anything polite, but it really didn't matter whether Wang Fifei went or not. Anyway, Hu Kiki and Hu Baba were both from the Snow Fox tribe, so there was no need to worry that they would be bullied by other demon tribes if they went. Besides, it was impossible to bully her. That's good. Wang Fifei couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, and then he realized that his words were a bit inappropriate. So he quickly turned his brain to make amends. Master, I didn't mean that. It's mainly because you came rather suddenly, and I still have a lot of things to deal with. I can't just leave the puppies alone. Just give me some time to deal with it. Although I haven't started a family yet, I have already trained a dog demon as a successor. When I take him to do all kinds of things, I can be at ease with you. He hurriedly explained, and then dared to look up at Wen Jiu. Fortunately, the other party was not angry, and had a very kind smile. It doesn't matter, even if you follow me to do things in the future, you don't have to accompany me day and night. Wen Jiu patiently explained to Wang Fifei, you just have to obey orders, and do things without pretending to obey. She will go to a high-level planet to study in the future. At most, she will bring a fox Kiki as a pet. The rest of the monsters can only stay on the desolate planet, or on her territory on the brick planet. Otherwise, if she takes a lot of monsters to the Ria Military Academy, people who don't know would think she is going to open a zoo. With her explanation, Wang Fifei was relieved immediately. Then I'll go catch 2 chickens for lunch. The other party ran out of the thatched hut happily. Master, please wait. The meal will be served soon. Seeing this, Wen Jiu just smiled and nodded. To be honest, the chickens raised by the dog demon tribe are quite delicious. She tasted them at the bonfire party last night. After the chickens were cleaned, they were directly roasted without any seasoning. They tasted juicy and tender, and tasted better than the colorful feather chickens sold in the Star Network supermarket. It seems that she made the right choice on this trip. If she can fool a few more demon tribes, the plan to open a big restaurant can be put on the agenda. This is the 3rd update for today. Thank you little angels again. 030. Chapter 907 Snow Fox Tribe 1. Li Kaojin was indeed much more reliable than Li Tudu. Not only did he lend the best cart of the Lily tribe, he also found a strong elk tribe to pull the cart. These two are Lu Dao and Lu Zhao, good cart pullers of the elk tribe. Li Kaojin introduced cheerfully. They used to help our Lily tribe pull stones, and they pulled them very steadily. So Master Wen, you can rest assured to take your friends on the road. Since he took the elixir given by Wen Jiu, the spirit of the whole Lily has improved a lot. Although the effect is not particularly significant, and it will not make him return to normal immediately, he can feel the changes in his body, which is a surprise to him. It is precisely because of this that he took great pains to invite Lu Dao and Lu Zhao to ensure the safety of Wen Jiu and his party on the road. Lu Dao and Lu Zhao are not only first-class cart pullers, but also outstanding in combat ability. If he had not asked sincerely and brought out a treasure, they might not have come to help. Thank you, you've worked so hard. Wen Jiu smiled brightly. Then we'll get ready to go and come back to see you in a few days. They had packed up their things long ago and were waiting for Li Kaojin to come with transportation. In fact, among the supplies prepared by Ziziu, there was a hovercraft. It's just that neither she nor Chujian can drive, and the automatic driving system requires coordinates, which makes the hovercraft impossible to use. If not, she wouldn't have to go to so much trouble to fool them. The cars of the Lily tribe are all made by the Lily themselves, and they are somewhat similar to the horse-drawn carriages that were popular in ancient China. Wen Jiu first let Ukiki and Hu Baba get into the carriage, and then she said goodbye to Li Kaojin and Wang Fifei. After waiting for Lu Dao and Lu Zhao to return to their original forms and put on the tools, she and Chu Jian entered the carriage peacefully. Although there are now means of transportation and the elk pulls the cart very quickly, it still took them half a month to successfully reach the so-called extremely cold place. Master Wen, this is where the snow foxes live. We call it the Ice and Snow Village. Oh, Master. This is our hometown, the snow dance place. The enthusiastic Lu Dao and the excited Hukiki spoke at the same time, but the name reported by the former was very simple, while the name reported by the latter had a hint of middle school. In short, the two names were completely different in style. So the deer and the fox were silent. It's okay, the name is not important. What's important is that we are finally here. Wen Jiu smiled and broke the awkwardness. Now you and Hubaba can find the place, right? Hearing this, Hukiki perked up and answered, "Oh, of course you can. I'll go find my tribe members now." As he said that, he turned back into his original fox form and ran towards the white ice and snow. Seeing this, Lu Dao and Lu Xiao broke free from the tools that pulled the cart and transformed into honest young men. However, they retained the characteristics of the demon race, so both deer had elk antlers like branches on their heads. Wen Jiu thought it was a bit strange at first, but after watching it for a long time, he thought it was not bad. "Master Wen, this place is very cold. Please go back to the carriage and sit down first," Lu Dao said, and wanted to help her back to the carriage. Hearing this, she waved her hand and wrapped her winter clothes tightly. "It's okay, my clothes are very thick, and I won't be cold." Seeing her like this, Lu Dao smiled and checked the car with Lu Xiao. They rushed all the way, and the wheels showed some wear and tear. They had to check if there were any problems, so as to avoid accidents on the way back. Speaking of which, the reason why Lu Dao's attitude was so good was mainly because she was not idle along the way, and taught everyone a lot of ways to practice meditation and absorb spiritual energy. Her initial idea was to teach Chu Jian first, so that he could learn to absorb spiritual energy to suppress mutations. Then teach Hukiki and Hubaba the most suitable method of absorbing resentment for the Fox clan. As a result, one day she saw Lu Dao and Lu Xiao eavesdropping nearby. After thinking for a while, she called the two deer over and asked them to learn the method of meditation and cultivation with Chu Jian. Although she had no idea about the elk tribe for the time being, she could still show kindness sometimes. Besides, Lu Dao and Lu Xiao had worked hard pulling the cart all the way, so she could teach them a lesson as a reward. "Why don't you wear a hat when you come out?" Chu Jian jumped off the car flexibly and lightly and took out a hat from the wisdom ring space and handed it to him. Hearing this, Wen Jiu first took the hat and put it on his head, then exhaled a breath of hot air and replied, "I forgot in the excitement. Since you have taken the hat, why don't you give me a pair of gloves? Anyway, their supplies are shared, so it doesn't matter who takes things from." As soon as she finished speaking, Chu Jian smiled and handed over a pair of fleece gloves. "I knew you were afraid of the cold. This is fleece. Put it on quickly." "Thank you, brother," she asked while putting on the gloves. "You still can't practice?" Along the way, she taught Chu Jian several ways to draw in the spirit, but he couldn't absorb the spirit energy no matter what. Fortunately, the spirit energy on this planet is very abundant. Even if Chu Jian can't absorb the spirit energy, he can slow down the speed of his body's alienation. "I can't do it. Maybe I don't have the talent." Chu Jian shook his head calmly. In fact, he didn't care whether he could practice or not, as long as the alienation speed could be slowed down. Anyway, he had seen all kinds of storms, and a small thing like not being able to practice really didn't affect his mood. Seeing this, Wen Jiu also sighed calmly. "It's okay. I asked Lu Xiao and Lu Dao before. They said there is a spirit vein here. After Hukiki's dream of going home is fulfilled, we will take some time to find the spirit vein." "What is a spirit vein?" Chu Jian has become accustomed to Wen Jiu always saying some strange words. Besides, since he came to the desolate planet, he has seen too many magical things. He went from being extremely shocked at the beginning to being able to keep a normal mind, no matter what he saw or heard. It means that you can dig out veins of spirit stones. Each spirit stone contains spiritual energy. Wen Jiu patiently explained, "With spirit stones, you can make things. I will make you a piece of jewelry when the time comes. It doesn't matter, even if you can't learn to practice. As long as you bring spirit stones, you don't have to worry. If the quality of the spirit stones here is good, one spirit stone can keep you worry-free for a year." Although spirit stones contain spiritual energy, she couldn't guarantee how much spiritual energy there was. Spirit stones that can keep you worry-free for a year are considered to be of excellent quality. As the two chatted, they saw a little snow fox crawling out of the snow not far away. The fourth update has also been delivered smoothly. Give the little angels a boo. 030. Chapter 908 Snow Fox Tribe 2. Wen Jiu stared at the snow fox for a long time before she realized that it was not Ukiki. Although each snow fox looks slightly different, it is really hard to identify them in this vast expanse of white. When she was about to walk up to communicate, she suddenly saw a white shadow flying out of the carriage. Fox old 9. You rubbish dare to come to my door. I will skin you alive today. Hubbaba pounced on it with lightning speed and held down Who old 9 who wanted to escape with one claw. It's you, shameless one, who stole things while I was not at home. She roared while pulling the other fox's fur. I have worked hard to save corn cobs for half a year, and you, shameless thing, stole them all. When she found out that humans love to eat roasted corn, she squatted in the human camp all day and night to pick up corn cobs. When she saved enough bags, she could exchange them for vegetables with the Jade Rabbit clan. Later, she found that the group of humans were preparing to leave the desolate star, and the fact that Ukiki and the tribe had gone out to make a living long ago made her want to go to the human world to take a look. She originally thought that, before leaving the desolate planet, she would save some corn cobs to exchange for some ready-made food, so that she would not have to worry about having nothing to eat on the road. But the bastard fox Wen Jiu stole all the corn cobs she saved while she was out bewitching humans. Because those humans were leaving soon, she could only rely on her thick skin to ask Wang Fifei for a bag of chicken jerky. Then she hid in the human spaceship and ate the dry food all the way. Hey, I didn't steal it. I didn't steal it. Fox old 9 grimaced in pain. I borrowed it. My cousin from the Red Fox clan is about to give birth, and I wanted to go to the Jade Rabbit clan to exchange some supplements, so I borrowed a bag of corn cobs from you. I returned you 2 bags of mushrooms later. Ouch. Little aunt, please don't hit me. 2 bags of mushrooms for a bag of corn cobs. You made a lot of money. He felt very wronged. Although it was wrong for him to steal Fox Baba's corn cobs, he later went to the forest to pick 2 bags of mushrooms to return them. Why did the other party beat him like this? Hearing this, Fox Baba was so angry that he turned into a human form and then pulled Fox old 9's hair. Those broken mushrooms can be found everywhere. Do you know how precious corn cobs are, you shameless old fox? Although she ranked higher than Fox old 9 in the Snow Fox clan, the other party was actually much older than her, so she was right to scold the old fox. Fox old 9 was pulled so hard that he had no power to fight back. In panic, he couldn't even transform into a human form. He could only keep wailing as a fox. Seeing this, Wen Jiu silently lowered his eyes and pretended that he didn't see anything. Although she felt very sad about the fox hair pulled off by Hubbaba, she knew that she had to let him vent his anger. After all, few people can tolerate having their things stolen. Seeing her like this, Chu Jian also lowered his head. Even the enthusiastic Lu Dao and the calm Lu Xiao turned around and continued to repair the wheel. There was no way. The internal affairs of the Snow Fox clan were not the responsibility of the Elk clan. Just when Hubbaba was beating Fox old 9, Ukiki finally came back running, but he brought another Snow Fox with him. Master. He ran over and transformed into a human form. This is the 3rd elder of our Snow Fox tribe. He heard that you were going to visit, so he came to greet you. As soon as he finished speaking, the Snow Fox beside him suddenly transformed into a human. Hello, Master. I'm Fox 3 from the Snow Fox tribe. Perhaps because the Fox tribe has a natural talent for appearance, Fox 3's appearance is also quite outstanding, and he has a gentle and elegant demeanor. Fox 3 has a kind smile on his face, and his bright eyes are full of sincerity, which makes people feel good about him. You don't have to call me Master, just call me Xiao Wen. Wen Jiu smiled politely. As soon as she saw Fox 3's appearance, she knew that he was a real old fox. Like Fox Kiki and Fox Baba, they all transformed to look good. But Fox 3, although his appearance after transformation into a human is not bad, he does not have a trace of fox charm, but has a temperament that makes people feel good. In short, Fox 3 knows how to use his appearance to his advantage, much better than the two little foxes. It can be seen that Fox 3 is not easy to fool, and his scheming is so deep. Hearing this, Fox 3 was stunned for a moment, and then he came back to his senses and smiled. I didn't expect you to be such an approachable fox. In this case, I would rather obey your order. I wonder why Wen came to the Snow Fox clan this time. He just asked Fox Kiki roughly, and the other party said that the two humans came to recuperate. He thought that the two humans had suffered serious injuries. He found a young generation who had not yet transformed, but had already opened his spiritual intelligence to pass the message to the tribe, and then hurriedly followed Fox Kiki all the way here. As a result, he found out that they were in great shape and there was no sign of any injury at all. It's like this, I mainly brought Kiki and Baba back to visit the tribe, and secondly, I wanted to stay in the Snow Fox clan to recuperate. Wen Jiu didn't expect Fox 3 to speak so elegantly. It seems that the other party should be hundreds of years old. In fact, she could have stayed in the Dog Demon tribe or the Raccoon tribe to practice, but considering that Kiki and Baba were both from the Snow Fox tribe, it was not convenient for her to live with other demon tribes. That's why she went through so much trouble to come to this icy and snowy place. Is that so? Husen smiled and nodded. Then let's set off to return to the Snow Fox tribe. It's not convenient to communicate outside now. That's right. Then I'll trouble brother Husen to lead the way. Wen Jiu agreed with a smile. Seeing that Wen Jiu agreed so readily and called him brother, Husen's smile became more genuine. However, when he glanced at Baba who was still making a fuss, the corners of his mouth that had just risen drooped silently. Wen, remember to take the luggage and the carriage. I'll go and persuade Baba and Leo Jiu first, and I'll be back soon. He smiled apologetically at first, and then walked quickly towards Baba not far away. While Fox 3 was dealing with Fox Baba and Fox Old 9, Wen Jiu turned around and went to find the Elk brothers who were repairing the wheels. After thinking about it, she took out 2 gift boxes from the wisdom ring space. This is a little gift from me, and thank you for sending us here. She smiled and handed the gift box to Luda. By the way, we have to stay in the Snow Fox tribe for a while. Are you planning to go back to the Elk tribe or? She didn't know what Luda and Luzawa were planning to do, so she could only test them in this way. Upon seeing this, Luda first declined with a smile, and then accepted the gift box she gave. Master, you don't have to worry about this. Luzawa and I plan to live in the nearby reindeer tribe for a while. It happens that we have relatives in the reindeer tribe, so we can go visit them this time. Source: this is the first update for today. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. Chapter 909 Snow Fox Tribe 3. So when Jiu said goodbye to the Elk brothers and gave them the car that the Lily tribe had loaned them as a favor. After all, she was going to the Snow Fox tribe, and this car was really inconvenient to bring. And no Snow Fox was good at repairing tools, and if it was accidentally broken, it couldn't be repaired. So it was better to give it to the Elk brothers for safekeeping. Sorry, I kept you waiting for a long time. Foxon held a fox in one hand. The young people in our tribe are still very well behaved, and they are rare. He felt that his old face was completely lost. Although the young people in the tribe occasionally fought, they couldn't fight in front of outsiders. He just hoped that Wen Jiu and the other human would not look down on the Snow Fox tribe because of this. Fortunately, Wen Jiu didn't show any strange look. It's okay, it's not early now, so let's set off quickly. The Snow Fox tribe is in the north of the ice and snow, so the days are short and the nights are long. It was only a little after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sky had already darkened. She didn't know how far the Snow Fox tribe's residence was from here. She just hoped that they could arrive before it got completely dark. That's right, Husen smiled kindly. Then I'll let them transform back to their original form first, run back to inform the tribe as soon as possible, and let the other fox demons in the tribe prepare. He thought that when Jiu and Chujian were just ordinary humans, and no matter how fast they ran, they couldn't be as fast as the demons. So he planned to let Ukiki and others go back first. One is to inform, so that the tribe can prepare, and the other is to stay alone, so that he can test. Although Hukiki and Hubaba both trust these two humans, as an elder of the tribe, he must protect the Snow Fox tribe. What if the two little foxes were deceived by humans? Then they would be inviting wolves into the house and bring disaster. Just in case, he still had to find out the details. Unexpectedly, Wen Jiu waved his hand directly. "It's okay, you all transform back to your original form and run in front. My brother and I can catch up." Hearing this, he couldn't help but blink in confusion. Could it be that the human in front of him really has some amazing ability? Before he could ask, he saw Fox Kiki transformed back into its original form and then ran over happily. I don't know where Wen Jiu got a red ribbon from, but the other party tied a knot directly on Fox Kiki's tail. In this vast expanse of white, the red color is extremely conspicuous. "Boss, I want one too," Fox Baba said as he transformed back into his original form, then pushed Fox Kiki in front of Wen Jiu away and took the initiative to lift his hips and offer his tail. Seeing this, Foxson felt really embarrassed. Why are these two little foxes more flattering than the other? But before he could figure it out, Fox Wen Jiu, who had been beaten so hard that he had no power to fight back, was thrown over by Fox Baba and Fox Kiki, and a red ribbon was forcibly tied on him. Then the two little foxes turned their heads together, looking as if they wanted to force him to tie the ribbon. The fox had to bow his head under the eaves, so he changed back to his original form quite reluctantly, and then took the initiative to walk in front of Wen Jiu, allowing the other party to tie a red ribbon on his tail. "Okay, you guys run ahead later," Wen Jiu said as she conjured up a long sword. A faint light flickered at her fingertips. The sword seemed to have consciousness, and after flying 2 circles, it stopped in front of her obediently. She stepped on it very neatly, and then looked at Chujian on the side. "Come, I'll take you flying." She has infused a lot of spiritual energy into this sword these days, and now it is no problem to fly with 2 people. It's a pity that this sword is too ordinary, and the spiritual energy she can infuse has reached the limit. It seems that she has to look for air ores while looking for spiritual veins so as to forge a spiritual sword. It is a sword that truly has its own spiritual intelligence, not the sword that is made by infusing spiritual energy now. "Okay." Chujian hesitated for a moment before stepping on it carefully. It's not that he didn't believe Wen Jiu, he was just worried about the sword. It looked very fragile. Could it really carry 2 people? However, it turned out that he was overthinking. The moment his feet left the ground, the long sword held him steadily, without any sign of being bent. Wen Jiu felt the long sword trembling slightly, so he kindly asked, "Can you stand steadily? If you can't, hold my shoulder. Stand steadily, let's go directly." He imitated the other's posture and stood up, trying to keep his body balanced. "I really can stand steadily. If we leave later, it will be dark." After saying that, Wen Jiu turned his head and looked at the stunned Husan. "Brother Husan, we are ready and can go." "Ah, good, good." Husan shook his head vigorously, and the shock subsided a little. He knew that many human masters with profound cultivation could fly with swords. But what he really didn't expect was that the little girl in front of him could also do it. It seems that Hukiki and Hubaba really met a master. Moreover, this master was going to stay at the Snow Fox tribe temporarily. Maybe this was an opportunity God had given them. Thinking of this, he quickly called a few little foxes and ran towards the territory of the Snow Fox tribe together. While running, he looked up and saw Wen Jiu following closely behind them on his sword. He looked closely and saw that the other party's self-satisfied and serious look was really a bit of a mysterious master style. If Fox 3 could see more clearly, he would find that Wen Jiu was not a master style, but was frozen so hard that his face was stiff and he could not make any expression. Wen Jiu felt the fierce cold wind whistling past, and she regretted not wearing a mask before setting off. Seeing that the little foxes were still running wildly below, she could only activate the deep sea blue flame in her body to keep her body warm. Fortunately, after flying for about 10 minutes, she saw the territory of the Snow Fox tribe below through a thin layer of mist. "Oh, we are finally here." Hukiki first took off the red ribbon on his tail and then transformed into a cold young man. This was how he looked when he first met Wen Jiu, but he didn't have much spiritual power at that time, and he became a child in just a few seconds. Later, he learned to absorb resentment and refine it, which made the spiritual power in his body abundant, and his cultivation became higher and higher. Now it is easy to maintain the appearance of a young man. He looked at the familiar snow house in front of him, and the curious snow foxes poking their heads out, and he couldn't help but be moved and almost cried. At the beginning, he was young and energetic, and always wanted to go to the human world, to make a living and find someone to worship him, so that all the tribesmen would envy him to death. But when he really went to the human world, he realized that everything was completely different from what he knew. Not only did he not find the so-called worship, but he was also robbed like a pet. Later, he was in danger several times, and almost lost his life. Fortunately, he was not too unlucky. When he thought of this, he looked up and saw the girl's jade feet stepping on the shining sword in the sky, which was intertwined with deep blue and golden yellow. She slowly descended with an otherworldly look. Oh my god, it's too cold here. Wen Jiu was so cold that he spoke with a northern accent. Hearing this, Kiki lowered his head silently. Well, it's not that otherworldly. Today's second update has also been successfully delivered. Thanks again to the little angels for their support. W equals. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 910 Fox Xiaoc 1. The territory of the Snow Fox tribe is larger than that of the Dog Demon tribe. Every household lives in a snow house built with snow bricks. From the outside, the hemispherical snow house looks like a big pot on the ground. There are torches outside the snow house, and a soft animal skin carpet is laid at the door. It looks like wild bear skin, and I don't know where the snow foxes got it from. The snow foxes that can transform into human form all transformed into human form, standing in a row at the door of the territory looking out. The little foxes that can't transform into human form squatted at the door obediently, and from a distance they looked like snowballs sitting together. It's just that their fur color is too similar to the snow, so the elders dyed them with plants. Some dyed a tuft of yellow hair on their ears, some dyed a piece of blue on their necks, and some dyed their tails pink, which looks quite cute. It was already dark at this time, and the snow foxes also lit a fire at the door to illuminate it. In the vast expanse of white, the little firelight made people feel very warm just by looking at it. Because the patriarch of the Snow Fox clan, Yi, was in seclusion for cultivation, the one who came to greet him was the second elder of the Snow Fox clan. Unlike the beautiful vixens that Wen Jiu had seen before, the other party was actually a white-bearded old man named Huari. Hello, Master. You must have worked hard on the way. Although Master Fox had grey hair, he was in good spirits. If you had asked Fox Kiki to come back earlier to report the news, we could have gone to the reindeer tribe to borrow a sled to pick you up. Are you not cold on the way? It's very cold here. I specially asked someone to cook some ginger soup. The ginger is grown by the Jade Rabbit tribe, and it is very effective in dispelling the cold. Oh, Foxson didn't even get you a cloak. I will scold him later. Master Fox said a lot of things in a rambling manner, and Foxson on the side couldn't help but smile awkwardly and said, Master, let the two guests go into the snow house to rest for a while. They just flew all the way here on swords, and they must have been blown by the cold wind. Your grandfather is not blind. I know they flew all the way here on swords. Master Fox knocked on Foxson's head with one hand. After the knock, he realized that Wen Jiu and others were still there, so he quickly took them into the snow house that was already in the air. This snow house is right next to where Kiki lives. If you have anything to do, just tell him. Oh, by the way, the two rooms in front are where Husan and Xiaoc live. If Kiki is not available, you can tell them to do it. As he spoke, he led Wen Jiu and others forward. In order to welcome these two guests from afar, the snow foxes even swept away the fallen snow. If it were on a normal day, because the snow foxes are used to rolling in the snow, almost no snow fox would sweep the snow. It can be seen that the Snow Fox clan still attaches great importance to the arrival of Wen Jiu and Chu Jian. However, just after Mr. Fox introduced a few words, a Snow Fox suddenly got angry. Who wants to do things for them humans? I say, are you guys never going to stop? As soon as the voice fell, Mr. Fox bent down very neatly, rolled out a big snowball, and then accurately hit the other person on the head. Who's IOC? Can you please quiet down? The little things you had with the human are over now. Do you have to remember it for the rest of your life? Don't forget that the last time you were practicing, you almost became possessed by that thing. If you continue like this, you might go astray and ruin your future. Mr. Fox cursed for a long time, and the fox blushed when he heard it. But the other party still stiffened his neck and replied, "Second master, none of these humans are good. Don't think I have any prejudice. I have been to the human world. Look at how old this little girl is. How can she be a master of cultivation? I just don't want to see my people being deceived. Why do you have to speak for these humans? If you think what I said is wrong, then forget it. Don't come to me crying when you are deceived by humans. Yo, who's IOC? You talk as if Ukiki and I have never been to the human world. It's because the humans you met are of bad nature. My boss and he are the best. They will not deceive foxes like the humans you met before." Baba was unhappy when she heard this. She would never allow any demon or human to slander her boss in front of her. As soon as she finished speaking, Ukiki also said, "Who's IOC? Don't always remember that thing. After you have a demon in your heart, it will be difficult for you to improve your cultivation. Besides, my master and brother Henny are really good people. My master also taught me a set of exercises. Do you think my cultivation is higher than before?" After the other party finished speaking, whose IOC said disapprovingly, "The reason why your cultivation has increased is because you have a high talent. It has nothing to do with that kind of exercise. Everyone knows that Ukiki is the most talented Snow Fox in the Snow Fox clan, except for the clan leader Huyi." Baba wanted to continue arguing, but Huai rolled another snowball and threw it directly at IOC. This time IOC had nothing to say because he fainted directly. Fortunately, Husan had been watching from the side and caught him when he fainted. Otherwise he would have to lie on the ground and might even be stepped on by Baba. Don't be surprised, my two distinguished guests. IOC has been fooled by humans before, so you know how he treats humans. Husan supported the unconscious IOC, and after a brief explanation, he quickly took him to find the clan doctor. As soon as he finished speaking, Master Hua continued to lead the way happily, as if nothing had happened. Seeing this, Wen Jiu couldn't help but pull Baba over to ask. To be honest, IOC is still very good looking, just a little more feminine than Ukiki. With such an outstanding appearance, he is very suitable for soliciting customers. However, the other party's prejudice against humans is so deep. Could he have been seriously injured by humans? If there is really such a blood feud, then she can't fool IOC. Boss, why are you interested in IOC? He's not smart. Baba frowned with dissatisfaction. He's a fool, not suitable for the human world at all. Hearing this, she raised her eyebrows with some curiosity. Tell me more. Just share gossip with me. Seeing her curiosity, the other party began to complain. When IOC went to pick mushrooms, he met a human girl by chance. He was not interested in humans at first, but the human girl was very gentle and cute, so he was moved. She couldn't help but sigh in her heart when she heard this. It turned out that it was another kind of serious injury. Today's third update has also been successfully delivered. Please check it out. Little Angels 030. Chapter 911 Fox IOC 2. Later, IOC just followed the human girl without even saying hello to his tribesmen. Baba rolled his eyes in disdain when he said this. It is said that the human girl was very kind to him, buying him clothes and food. But later, just when he got to this point, Chu Jian, who had been eavesdropping on the side, came over. Did the girl have leukemia or cancer? Or did she have a car accident and lost her memory? Can you be serious? When Jiu pretended to slap someone, Baba, go on, ignore him. Seeing this, the corners of his mouth curved up. Okay, I won't interrupt. Baba continue. Just when Humbaba wanted to continue talking, the second master fox in front of him stopped. "Here we are, this is it." Mr. Fox pointed to the snow house in front of him with a smile. This snow house is usually used as a warehouse, so it is larger than other snow houses, just enough for you to live comfortably. Because the snow foxes will turn back into their original form when they rest, the snow houses that most snow foxes live in are not very big. After all, a snow fox is only that big, so it is useless to have a big snow house. But don't worry, this warehouse is usually carefully maintained, and I asked them to clean it up in advance, and the bed is also covered with the softest animal skin blanket. Seeing that Wen Jiu and Chu Jian didn't speak, he thought that the two were dissatisfied with this arrangement. However, Wen Jiu was just thinking quietly, is this house made of snow bricks cold? If it is cold, she will have to find a way to keep warm. But if she burns a fire in the snow house, will the snow bricks melt? However, all these problems disappeared after she entered the snow house. The temperature inside the igloo was unexpectedly much higher than outside. There was a stone stove in the center, and the warm flames were constantly dancing, making her feel particularly comfortable. As soon as she entered, "Master, it's getting late. I won't bother you anymore." Although Mr. Fox is a talkative and irritable old man, he is much better at reading people's expressions than other foxes. "If you have anything to say, just tell me. I'll leave first." Before Wen Jiu could say any polite words, Mr. Fox quickly added a few more sentences, and the animal skins on the snowbed are brand new. They have been smoked with fresh flour several times, so they have no smell. "I'll ask the foxes to bring dinner over later. You just need to rest in the snow house and don't have to worry about anything. That fox Zioc was hurt by humans before. Don't mind. I'll go to his house and teach him a lesson. Oh, by the way, it's very cold at night. There are a lot of charcoal piled over there. If you feel cold, just add some to the stone stove. Don't be polite. Also, we don't turn off the fire outside the door at night to prevent other monsters from sneaking in to harass us. But you don't have to worry about the torches outside being blown out by the wind. We added a lot of seal oil when we were making it, unless it was done by the foxes." Master whose mouth was like a machine gun, uttering a series of words. Wen Jiu didn't know which sentence to start with. No wonder Kiki and Humbaba never thought that the two of them talked a lot. It turned out that there was someone in the snow fox tribe who talked more. When she heard the end, she felt her head buzzing. After Master Hu left, she collapsed on the snow bed without any image and breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing this, Humbaba quickly changed back to his fox body and quickly got to her side and lay down. "Master, you are tired, right? Do you want me to massage your shoulders?" No, she felt that her head was full of Master Hu's nagging. "You continue to tell the story of Hu's IOC." She needed some new content to replace the voice in her mind. It happened that Huzios's story was not finished, so it was better to let Humbaba finish it. But she could probably guess the direction of the latter, which was nothing more than that humans and monsters could not be together, and staged a heart-wrenching and physical drama. Most likely, it's still the kind of story that makes men speechless and women cry. However, it turns out that Huzios's experience is richer than Wen Jiu thought, but it is indeed quite tearful. After the human girl knew Huzios's identity as a monster, she was very shocked at first, but she gradually accepted it later. Humbaba took out a frozen pear from the bamboo basket beside him. She became better and better to Huzios and sent more clothes and food than before. But the only problem is that the things she sent changed from human supplies to pet supplies. Huzios initially thought that the girl was being considerate of him. As he listened, Chu Jian also took out a frozen pear, and he threw one to Wen Jiu. "Isn't it? Ha, how do humans say it? This is a weasel paying New Year's greetings to a chicken," Humbaba gossiped, while chewing on a frozen pear. Huzios completely fell under the siege of gifts, and he trusted the girl 100%. Wen Jiu couldn't help but interrupt when he heard this. "Tell us the ending quickly. Did the human monster love break up? I really don't know if it can be considered as being separated." Seeing that Wen Jiu was anxious to know the ending, Humbaba directly told the ending of the story. Later, Huzios was sold to the circus by that girl. "I heard from Uncle Zun next door that he got 1,000,000 star coins from the sale. Wen Jiu and Chu Jian were both silent. They thought this was a beautiful love story, but it turned out to be a story about trafficking in demons. And what was the operation of selling it to a circus? Which circus actually accepts foxes? Seeing that they were full of question marks, Hukiki explained, "Oh, I heard that Huzaosi stayed in the circus for 3 whole months and was forced to perform shows by that animal trainer every day. He was so pitiful." No, what kind of show can he perform? Jumping through a ring of fire or walking on a tightrope? Wen Jiu felt that the question marks on his head were about to glow. Hearing this, Hubaba couldn't help but burst out laughing. Uncle Zun next door said that Huzaosi performs foxes turning into humans and humans turning into foxes every day. Of course, he also performs jumping through fire rings and tightrope walking occasionally. She laughed as she spoke, and Hukiki beside her also fell on the bed with laughter. Seeing this, Wen Jiu actually wanted to laugh, but Huzaosi's experience was too wonderful, and she felt it was not good to laugh like this, so she lowered her head silently to hold back her laughter. No wonder Huzaosi hates humans so much. If she was sold by her beloved and had to perform for humans every day, she would definitely hate humans. Not long after the two foxes chatted, a snow fox knocked on the door and brought a dinner carefully prepared by the snow fox tribe, a large pot of delicious fish soup. It is said that the method was learned from the jade rabbit tribe, and it tastes more delicious than the human world. After they ate and drank enough, they simply washed up. Hukiki and Hubaba returned to their respective homes, and when Jiu took out 2 large sleeping bags, because it was very warm after getting in, she fell asleep quickly, but she didn't expect to hear a hurried knock on the door before dawn. Hey, this is the 4th update of the day. I wish the little angels a happy weekend! 030. Chapter 912. I want to marry you. 1. Boss, are you up yet? Boss, are you up yet? Hubaba stood outside the door half anxiously and half delightedly. She had always had the habit of getting up early to exercise, and now she was no exception, even after returning to the Snow Fox clan. However, she had just gone out for a stroll when she ran into Mr. Hua, who hurriedly told her that the clan leader had successfully come out of confinement and wanted to see Wen Jiu and Chu Jian. So she excitedly rushed all the way here, wanting to tell Wen Jiu this super big news. But after she arrived, she didn't hear any movement in the snow house. She didn't dare to disturb them rashly, so she lay on the blanket at the door and waited. At this moment, she heard footsteps in the house, and she was eager to convey the news, so she quickly knocked on the door. "It's not dawn yet, what are you arguing about?" Wen Jiu asked, while combing his hair. "Don't disturb the snow foxes around, come in and say whatever you want to say. The sound insulation of this snow house is not very good, and Hubaba's voice is so loud that it's annoying." She thought that she was a newcomer and didn't want to leave a bad impression on those snow foxes. Although she was not the one who was yelling, she still had to have some manners. It's okay, they are used to it. At most, they will just have a fight. Although Hubaba said this, she still honestly entered the snow house. When she saw that Wen Jiu and Chu Jian were awake, she explained the purpose of her coming. "You mean the chief wants to see us?" "When? Where?" Wen Jiu's hair had grown longer, so he tied it up with a ribbon and let it fall behind his head like a small chirp. As soon as she finished speaking, Hubaba was stunned. Seeing this, Chu Jian, who had just washed his face, couldn't help but chuckle. "You don't know anything, and just come to tell us the news?" I'm just in a hurry." Fox Baba glanced left and right guiltily. "Anyway, the clan leader wants to see you, so I came here specifically to give her some instructions. Our clan leader is a great beauty, the most beautiful of all fox spirits. You will be amazed if you meet her. But our clan leader has a little weird temper. If she says something bad, you mustn't take it to heart. She just has a sharp tongue, but a soft heart." In order to save her face, she chattered a lot of nonsense, and Wen Jiu even felt annoyed by her being too noisy. "Oh, I guess Second Master Fox will come to you soon. Anyway, I have said everything I should say, so you should be mentally prepared in advance. Our clan leader is pretty good. He is good to us young people, and has also guided me in my cultivation. Hearing this, Wen Jiu put on a thick winter coat. Got it. Thank you for your reminder. She understood that Baba also had good intentions, but the other party was really going to kill people if he got angry. Just when she wanted to ask more about the clan leader, there was another knock on the door. Because she was still wearing a hat and gloves, it was Chujayan who went to open the door. Second Master Fox was standing outside in high spirits, and next to him, there was Ukiki who had just crawled out of the quilt. I didn't expect the two masters to get up so early. Master Fox bowed cheerfully. There are not many young foxes who can get up early now. Fox Kiki likes to sleep in the bed. He won't get out of the bed until the sun shines on his butt at noon. Hearing this, the aloof personality that Fox Kiki had tried hard to maintain collapsed in an instant. Like a cat whose tail was stepped on, he shouted without caring about his image, "Oh, how could I? I'm very diligent. If you don't believe me, ask my master. I get up early every day to cook." But as soon as he finished speaking, Master Fox asked with surprise, "What? You learned to cook? Do you cook like the Jade Rabbits?" "Of course not." He puffed out his chest proudly. "My master taught me many dishes, and now I'm the chef of a store." When Master Fox heard this, he couldn't hide the joy on his face. Wen Jiu and Chujayan were very confused. Is learning to cook considered an honor to the family these days? Seeing that Mr. Fox and Hukiki were chatting more and more happily, Wen Jiu couldn't help but coughed a few times to remind them. "Didn't you say that the clan leader wanted to see us? When is the meeting?" After she finished speaking, Mr. Fox turned around and smiled. Sorry, I forgot about it in my happiness." It's okay. She put on her hat and gloves. "Then shall we set off now?" Hearing this, Mr. Fox nodded quickly. "Let's go. Let's not make the clan leader wait anxiously. That girl is impatient. Every time she waits a little longer when fishing, she wants to overturn the entire ice lake. What a coincidence. She just came out of seclusion in the early hours of last night. I'm old and not sleepy, and I live relatively close to her home, so I rushed over as soon as I got the news. I originally wanted to wait for her to rest before telling her about your visit, but she sensed the presence of an outsider and came to ask me." He led the way while explaining the cause and effect, like a store at a Larinity house. "The chief and I both live in that area. It usually takes about 10 minutes to walk there, but it's faster to run back to our original form, about 5 or 6 minutes. By the way, Master, please don't mind. Our chief speaks directly and has a bit of a temper, but she doesn't have any bad intentions." He talked a lot and finally arrived at the chief's snow house. This snow house is bigger than the others and is more ornate and delicate. Not only are beautiful patterns carved on the snow bricks, but there are also many blooming flowers around. Even the animal skin placed at the door is a unique white bearskin. "We are here, right here." Mr. Fox pretended to be tired, raised his hand, and wiped the sweat off his face. "Sorry, because our clan leader doesn't like noise, so the three of us won't follow him in." It seemed that Yi failed to break through this time. As soon as the other party came out of the cave, he had a bitter face. He didn't want to take the initiative to offend him. But it was true that Yi didn't like noise. There was no Snow Fox in the Snow Fox clan who was talkative, and none of them had not been beaten by the other party. Even though he was old, he had been scolded by Yi several times. It would be fine to scold him in front of the clan members at ordinary times. After all, they were all family members, so it was not shameful. Besides, the Snow Fox clan had probably been scolded. But now that there are two masters here, if he is scolded again, it would be really embarrassing. Seeing this, Wen Jiu nodded in understanding. "It doesn't matter, my brother and I will go in. You wait outside." She was about to step forward and knock on the door and saw the tightly closed door open. "Today's first update has been delivered. Please check it out, little angels." Chapter 913 I want to marry you too. I saw a graceful figure standing at the door, wrapped in a red gauze dress with an exquisite figure. The long hair like snow fell down wantonly, adding a bit of fascinating laziness. The fox's eyes were full of smiles, and the beautiful eyes were full of charm. The moist red lips were gently raised, like the finishing touch, showing the enchanting beauty of the fox spirit to the extreme. "Hello, clan leader." Mr. Fox was the first to react. He raised his hands and pressed the heads of the two little foxes. We congratulate the clan leader for coming out of seclusion. As soon as he finished speaking, Kiki and Baba came back to their senses and hurriedly greeted Yi, who suddenly appeared. Humph, forget the polite words. I know what kind of people you are. There was no difference between what Yi and Baba described. The other party was indeed a first-class beauty, and anyone who saw her would be amazed. Of course, her temper was indeed a bit irritable, and she spoke quite directly. Seeing this, Wen Jiu pulled Chujiao and Tibo together. Although Yi asked the other foxes to waive the formalities, as guests who came to visit, they still had to be polite. You are just humans who come to stay temporarily, right? Come on, don't do those nonsense things, I'm annoyed by them. Yi's voice was very soft and gentle, but the words he said were a little harsh. If Zikingai was here, he would definitely complain in a low voice. Why can't a good fox demon be a mute? Fortunately, Wen Jiu and Chujiao are not people who like to care about things, and they were not displeased by Yi's words. I'm Wen Jiu, and I meet the clan leader. The one next to me is my brother Chujiao. We did not inform you in advance of our visit this time, and I hope you can understand. Wen Jiu introduced politely. Although Yi said those words, she still remained polite, but she was not so polite. As soon as she finished speaking, Yi snorted coldly, you humans love to do superficial work. Now that you are here, don't say those words of forgiveness or not. Do you think you can leave quickly if I say no? That's not possible. I came here to solve important things. I'm afraid I have to stay in the Snow Fox clan before I solve them, so you will be disappointed. She was not a person who would tolerate it again and again. Although as the saying goes, people have to bow their heads under the eaves. But she just didn't bow her head. Not only that, she also held her head high. After the words fell, Yi's willowy eyebrows couldn't help but raise, and a hint of coldness appeared in his eyes. You human are interesting, so tell me what's your matter. If you can't arouse my interest, I will beat you out of the Snow Fox clan. Seeing this, Mr. Who couldn't help but sweat for Wen Jiu. You know, Yi has always had a hot temper, and he is simply a firecracker that explodes at a touch. If Wen Jiu really angered the other party, he might not be able to stay in the Snow Fox clan. So he pondered for a moment before speaking. Clan leader, this master is Master Kiki. She not only taught Kiki how to practice, but also taught Kiki how to cook. The Jade Rabbit clan is the best at cooking among the monsters, but it's a pity that the Jade Rabbit clan has always been unwilling to teach other monsters how to cook. Although the monsters can figure it out by themselves, they can never compare to the good skills of the Jade Rabbit clan. For example, no fox in their Snow Fox clan is good at cooking. The only few dishes they have are all exchanged for treasures from the Jade Rabbit clan. He had just finished speaking when Yi glared at him. You three should go, wherever you should go, the other party said, shaking his slender waist and walking over. Don't block me from communicating with my fiancé here. When Mr. Hua heard this, he didn't react and wanted to pull Kiki left and right and leave. As soon as he caught the two little foxes, his mind suddenly turned. Chief, what are you talking about? What fiancé? His face was full of shock. You can't be. Before he could finish his words, Yi interrupted impatiently. Yes, I just like this human. Hearing this, Kiki and Baba were stunned. These two little foxes who always talk a lot couldn't even say a word at this moment. No. How can this be possible? After being stunned for a moment, Mr. Fox came back to his senses. Chief, don't joke. This person and the monster can't be together. However, Yi not only ignored him, but also flirted with the two humans. Seeing this, he was as anxious as an ant on a hot pot. Chief, wake up. Humans and monsters will not have a good end. Have you forgotten who's IOC who was sold to the circus? It was who's IOC who was stupid, so he was fooled by humans. Yi walked over disapprovingly, with a smile on his plump red lips. He became even more anxious when he saw the other person's expression. If he had known, he would not have brought that man here. It's really a disaster with the blue beauties. A disaster with the blue beauties. Although the man surnamed Chu looks pretty good, he is better looking than many male foxes in the fox tribe. But humans and monsters will never have a good end together. Thinking of this, he said angrily, Chief, If you insist on being with this man, I will hit my head against your ice sculpture and die." When these words came out, the 3 foxes were stunned, and even Hu Yi was no exception. Seeing this, the heart of the second master Hu was slightly stabilized. It seems that his threat is still useful. But Hu Yi only sneered, with a faint smile in his fox eyes, who said, "I like this man. I want to marry this girl." Wen Jiu was silent. She had just silently written the 10,000 word draft, thinking about how to persuade Hu Yi to let Chu Jiayan go. As a result, the other party now told her that it was not Chu Jiayan who was favored, but herself. She didn't know what to say for a while. She was just a child who wanted to improve her cultivation and make a lot of money. However, her silence gave Hu Yi confidence. After the other party came over with a smile, he raised her chin with his delicate jade hand. "Don't worry, I know the rules of you humans." Hu Yi smiled, but his eyes were full of seriousness. "I will prepare the dowry and embroider the wedding dress and wait for you to marry me." Hearing this, Chu Jiayan finally couldn't help it. "I don't mean to offend, but there is no possibility between her and you. Calm down." He just subconsciously thought that Hu Yi wanted to tease him. Who knew that the other party's target was not him, but Wen Jiu? "Who are you? You know it's impossible." Hu Yi's eyes revealed a hint of murderous intent. "I like her, so what? She dares to talk to me, can guide my practice, and can cook all kinds of dishes. And she is very beautiful. It's so pleasing to the eye to put her at home." This is the second update of today. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. Chapter 914. I want to marry you 3. The 4 foxes stood at the door and debated for a whole morning, attracting all the big and small people of the Snow Fox clan to come and watch. The field was divided into 2 camps, one represented by Wen Jiu, who protected Wen Jiu's camp. The other was supported by Hu Yi alone, who took away Wen Jiu's camp. First of all, I'm still young, and secondly, I don't have any plans in that regard. Wen Jiu didn't know why he wanted to argue with others about such things. "Fox Chief, you are a good fox. Although I don't object to the love between demons and humans, you should find someone else." Hearing this, Hu Yi shook his sleeves nonchalantly. "You are young, and I can wait. I have a long life. Besides, you just don't have any plans for the time being, not for your whole life. It's impossible to find someone else. I want you. You also know that you have a long life. You are so old and still want to pick up young girls," Chu Jiayan said very dissatisfiedly. He didn't even care about politeness now. "Anyway, I don't agree with this marriage. Wen Jiu is my sister, so you'd better give up as soon as possible." However, Hu Yi was not attacked. Instead, she raised her eyebrows and smiled. "I'm only 300 years old this year, which is considered a young fox demon. Even if she is your sister, so what? You are now in the territory of my Snow Fox tribe." Although she didn't say everything, the threat was evident in her words. "Patriarch, you are impulsive." Master Hua felt a headache. If he had known, he would not have let Ukiki bring people back. This is Ukiki's master. Not to mention, her gender is the same as yours. It would be fine if Hu Yi fell in love with Chu Jiayan. In fact, their Snow Fox clan is not that feudal. If a fox demon and a human really fall in love, no fox will stand up to stop it. At most, everyone will just give a few words of advice. But the problem is that Hu Yi fell in love with Ukiki's female master. How can this be possible? I can become a man and be a little husband. Hu Yi immediately found a reason to refute. "Anyway, I'm determined to marry Miss Wen. It's rare for her to meet a human who is so suitable for her taste." The other party not only dares to talk back to her, but also has great attainments in cultivation. The most important thing is that Wen Jiu can cook. She has long been fed up with those stubborn and stupid rabbits of the Jade Rabbit clan. Every time she wants to have a hot meal, she has to ask for help from her grandfather and grandmother. It's really too annoying to the fox. Hearing this, Ukiki boldly retorted, Oh, chief, you can't marry my master. We can't have another fox in our family." He was already tired enough competing for favor with Hubaba, and he also had to deal with the humans like Zikingayu. If there was another Hu Yi, how would he live? "What do you mean? How many foxes do you have in your family?" Hu Yi narrowed his eyes when he heard this. She knew that humans like to have 3 wives and 4 concubines, but she couldn't stand it. If Wen Jiu's family really had a lot of foxes, she would either drive all of them out or give up this good thing. But for now, she still didn't want to give up Wen Jiu. Seeing the hesitation on Hu Yi's face, Hu Baba hurriedly continued to say, to reply to the clan leader, "We now have 2 foxes, me and Hukiki." As soon as she said this, Hu Yi sneered, "It doesn't matter if there are 2 of you. Anyway, you are my clan members, and it's okay for us to live under the same roof." That's what you said, but clan leader, Wen Jiu is very fickle. She pretended to be indignant. She built a big house specifically to raise monsters. She raised dog monsters, cat monsters, and even the rat monster you always looked down on. As soon as she finished speaking, the monsters and people present were shocked. First, they were shocked that Wen Jiu actually built a house to raise monsters, and second, they were shocked that Wen Jiu had so many tricks at such a young age. Hearing this, the corners of Wen Jiu's mouth twitched for a moment. Hu Baba is really a fox talent to be able to say that adopting stray animals is like having 3 wives and 4 concubines. The key point is that the shelter is not under her control. She just paid the money and acted as a hands-off manager. Can this be considered as being fickle? However, she knew that Hu Baba wanted to help, so she did not rush to explain. "You actually built a big house to raise monsters?" Hu Yi was shocked and widened his eyes. "I really can't see that you are so fickle, and your taste is too strong. The rat monster is so ugly that I will get sick if I look at it for one more time. You actually keep them in the house as concubines. You really don't care about meat and vegetables." Wen Jiu didn't want to open her mouth to explain, but she could bear to say that she was fickle, but it was too much to say that she had bad taste. So she took a deep breath. "Stop talking, let me have a good talk with the fox chief." As she said that, she walked to Hu Yi's side, but the other party was shocked by what Hu Baba said just now. When he saw her coming, he frowned and stepped back. Seeing this, she could only bow, and then said seriously, "Fox chief, let's find a place to talk. What can I talk to you about? I don't want to marry you now." Hu Yi's face was full of disgust, and our snow fox tribe doesn't welcome you to play tricks. She didn't wait for the other party to finish what he said, and she drew out her sword and slashed across. Hu Yi didn't become the chief of the tribe by relying on his face. The other party reacted instantly and turned his body to avoid the sword. "How dare you sneak attack me, human?" Hu Yi's jade hand turned into a fox palm and attacked her heart directly. Seeing this, she grabbed the other party's wrist and then easily captured the fox. The snow foxes who were watching the show saw this scene and almost besieged it. Fortunately, the second master of fox suppressed them and prevented the snow foxes from coming forward. "I should have stayed in seclusion for a few more days, annoying fox." Hu Yi stood up again, but unlike the beauty, when she first appeared, her hair and clothes were messy, and her body was covered with snow. She turned back to the snow house in anger and deliberately slammed the door. Seeing her like this, Master Hu first dispersed the onlookers, and then began to apologize to Wen Jiu frantically. Today's third update has also been delivered. Thanks again to the little angels for their support. 030. Chapter 915 Heading to the Jade Rabbit Tribe 1. However, Wen Jiu did not take this matter to heart. After she suppressed Hu Yi, the leader of the tribe, by force, the snow foxes in the tribe began to try their best to get close to her. They either helped her collect some firewood or sent her various foods, and some even came to her to ask for apprenticeship. But she would not accept new apprentices anymore. She was already very tired of taking care of Hukiki. Besides, before Hukiki, she really did not want to accept apprentices. It was because she was impressed by the other party that she accepted him as her disciple. Therefore, most of the things sent by the snow foxes were returned by her. After all, she could not accept the other party as her disciple, and it would be too much to accept this thing. However, some snow foxes sent things, not asking her to accept them as apprentices, but only asking her for guidance. After a serious discussion with Hukiki, she decided to give them some advice when she had time. As for the things, she picked and chose some. For example, the firewood that had to be lit every day, and the seal oil used for heating and making fire. She didn't ask for much food, because Ukiki had it. So when Jiu would sit in meditation every day, absorbing spiritual energy, and refining spiritual power to consolidate his cultivation, when he had time, he would stroll around the territory of the snow fox tribe, and give some advice to those cute snow foxes. In addition, he had to go to the Star Network, to report his safety and handle work, and occasionally he had to check Tao Yao's online store. But in general, it was much more leisurely than before. Chu Jian would meditate with Wen Jiu at first, but later he realized that he really had no talent, so he began to go out hunting with those snow foxes who had already transformed. Sometimes they went fishing, and sometimes they caught rabbits. He was not as good as those snow foxes at first, but he had a strong learning ability, and he was particularly good at lurking and raiding. Later, he could return with a full load every time he hunted. After practicing again and again, his combat ability actually improved, which was also a pleasant surprise. The lives of the monsters were very simple. They got up early and went to work after training, and returned home to rest as soon as it got dark. When Jiu and Chu Jian followed the local customs, after changing their routine, both of them became much healthier. Days passed one by one. After about a month, when Jiu finally stabilized her cultivation, not only could she fly on the sword for a long time, she could also use some cultivation techniques, and she didn't feel tired when drawing talismans. So she thought it was time to go to the Jade Rabbit clan, but before that she still needed to find Hu Yi, because she wanted to ask him to help find the spiritual vein. But since she suppressed Hu Yi that day, he avoided her like a plague god. Although she apologized outside Hu Yi's snow house, he still refused to come out to see her. How about I go and talk to Hu Yi? Chu Jian really followed the local customs, and now even put on a bearskin coat. The evil girl killer turned into a rough man in the mountains. Hearing this, Wen Jiu, who had just put on gloves, shook his head and said, "No, I'll go. And I talked to Mr. Hu last night, and he promised to help me find Hu Yi." At first, she thought that Hu Yi felt embarrassed, so he was hiding everywhere. But later, when she chatted with the snow foxes, she learned that the other party was not the kind of fox who cared about face. As a result, she didn't know how to solve it for a while. The symptoms of her and Chu Jian's alienation have been alleviated, and it's time to talk to the Jade Rabbit clan about business. Although her cultivation has stabilized, it can be guaranteed that the two will not show symptoms of alienation after returning to planet 3047. But Chu Jian is going to study at the Ria Military Academy, and he may have to enter the military zone in the future. She can't follow him all the time. Therefore, the best solution is to find the spirit vein and dig out some spirit stones from it. The spirit stones are full of spiritual energy. Let Chu Jian carry the spirit stones as ornaments on his body to suppress the alienation. So before leaving the Snow Fox tribe, to go to the Jade Rabbit tribe, she had to find Hu Yi to have a good talk. What spiritual vein? Can't you ask Second Master Hu? Chu Jian picked up his handmade bow and arrow. He really liked going out hunting with those snow foxes. When Jiu sighed when he heard this, I asked Second Master Hu before, and he said that only the tribe leader knows the exact location of the spiritual vein controlled by the Snow Fox tribe. If not, why would she be in a hurry to find Hu Yi? Could it be that the other party knew that she was looking for a spiritual vein, so he deliberately hid and took the opportunity to trip her up? Thinking of this, she couldn't help but frowned. But she felt that Hu Yi was not that kind of fox. Although the other party was unforgiving and had a bad temper, his nature was indeed not bad. Just as when Jiu was thinking about it, he suddenly heard a knock on the door. So she walked up to open the door. "Why are you here so early today? Aren't you too?" She stopped talking halfway because the people standing outside were not Ukiki and Hu Baba, but Hu Yi, whom she had been looking for. Fox clan leader? She couldn't help but raise her eyebrows in surprise. "What can I do for you?" Hu Yi was still wearing a fiery red dress, looking like a cluster of burning flames. Seeing her suddenly open the door, the other party was stunned for a moment, and after several seconds he stammered and replied, "I'm the clan leader." Oh, forget it. I heard from Master Hua that you want to find a spiritual vein, so I came here to ask you what you want to do to find a spiritual vein. Come in and sit down and talk. It's very cold standing outside." She did not answer Hu Yi's question immediately, but asked the other party to come in and sit down and talk slowly. But she did this simply because she was afraid of the cold. She didn't have time to dress up at this moment, and she was freezing when the cold wind blew at the door. However, Hu Yi didn't think so. A blush appeared on the other's face, but it disappeared quickly, so it didn't attract her attention. After entering the room, Wen Jiu first poured a cup of hot water for Hu Yi, and then explained the whole story. Hu Yi was a little nervous at first, but when she heard the things that happened later, she couldn't help but complain a few words. "We animals are working hard to cultivate into humans. Why do humans want to become animals? It's really a drought that will kill you, and a flood that will kill you. To be honest, I don't understand it either." Wen Jiu shrugged helplessly. The main reason was that the spiritual vein was of great importance, so after considering it, she still briefly told the story of her and Chu Jian. Hearing this, Hu Yi slumped down on the chair without any image. Forget it. Forget it. If you want some spirit stones, that's fine, but if you want to go to the spirit vein yourself, that won't work. Because spirit veins are rare. After we, the Snow Fox clan, discovered them, we used magic and formations to hide them, and also set up marks to prevent monsters from breaking in. This is the 4th update today. I wish all the little angels a happy weekend. Chapter 916, heading to the Jade Rabbit Tribe 2. Wen Jiu could actually guess the result. After all, a spiritual vein can produce many spiritual stones, and the spiritual stones are full of spiritual energy, so naturally many demon tribes would covet them. So after she discussed with Hu Yi, she decided that he would help her bring back the spiritual stones. However, it would take half a month to go to the spiritual vein and find the spiritual stones. So she informed Hu Yi about her plan to go to the Jade Rabbit Tribe. Unexpectedly, the other party did not hold a grudge because of the previous incident, and even offered to lend Husan to her to accompany her to the Jade Rabbit Tribe. "I know you have a good relationship with Hu Kiki and Hu Baba," Hu Yi explained the reason seriously, "but they are young and not very stable, especially Hu Baba, who likes to stir up trouble. Since you are going to the Jade Rabbit clan to seek cooperation, it is better to bring a stable fox with you, lest Hu Kiki and Hu Baba be naughty and ruin your business." It just so happens that Husan knows the chief of the Jade Rabbit clan and can introduce him to you. Since the other party has considered it so carefully, she can't refuse. But she is very curious why Hu Yi suddenly changed his attitude and was willing to help. "I'm not a fox who likes to care about every little thing. I will definitely not keep the matter of that day in my heart. Besides, I should repay you for saving Hu Kiki and Hu Baba. These two little foxes are innocent and straightforward. When I learned that they sneaked into the human world one after another, I was so anxious that I lost my hair for a long time. Fortunately, they both met a good man like you. Otherwise I really don't know how to find them and how to face their deceased parents." Hearing this, Wen Jiu's eyes flashed with surprise. She really didn't know the life experience of Hu Kiki and Hu Baba. After all, the two little foxes didn't mention it on their own initiative, so she naturally didn't have any burning gossip soul. Maybe Hu Yi saw the surprise in her eyes, so he simply explained the matter of Hu Kiki and Hu Baba's parents. The two little foxes are not siblings, but just of the same clan. But their parents both died in the Thunder Tribulation. This is how cultivation is. If you can't survive it, you're doomed. Therefore, Hu Kiki and Hu Baba were raised by everyone, and there are many little foxes like them in the tribe. There is no way. If you want to make further progress in cultivation, you will definitely encounter Thunder Tribulation. If everyone is afraid of crossing the tribulation and refuses to practice, the Snow Fox tribe would have been bullied by other demon tribes long ago. Seeing Wen Jiu's solemn expression, Hu Yi smiled softly to ease the atmosphere. "Don't be surprised. The road of cultivation is full of dangers, not only for our Snow Fox tribe, but also for other demon tribes. Crossing the tribulation is a common occurrence for their demon tribe. The reason why she went into seclusion to practice some time ago was because she almost failed when crossing the tribulation. Well, Wen Jiu was silent for a moment and then continued, how long does it take to get from the Snow Fox tribe to the Jade Rabbit tribe? She felt that now was not the time to talk about this heavy topic, so she simply changed the topic to visiting the Jade Rabbit tribe. After saying that, Hu Yi thought for a moment, if we go at the speed of our snow foxes, it will take about 3 days to arrive. But the territory of the Jade Rabbit clan is different from that of other demon clans, so it may be a bit difficult for you to find the entrance. I will let Usun bring a token with you. If you can't find a Jade Rabbit from the Jade Rabbit clan, you can let Usun use the token to find the entrance. The relationship between the Snow Fox clan and the Jade Rabbit clan is pretty good, and she and Usun both know the leader of the Jade Rabbit clan. It's just that her status is higher, so the Jade Rabbit clan only gave her the token. At first, she didn't want to lend the token to Wen Jiu, but after seeing his clear eyes, she took the initiative to ask for it. Hearing this, Wen Jiu smiled in surprise, his eyes curved like the moon. Ahem, then you and your brother should prepare. Hu Yi stood up uncomfortably. I'll go talk to Husan. We'll probably be able to leave in the afternoon. After that, she left the snow house in a hurry. Seeing this, Chu Jian raised her eyebrows thoughtfully. Seeing Hu Yi leave, Wen Jiu packed up her bags. I didn't expect the Fox Chief to be so enthusiastic. It seems we can go back to planet 3047 early to reunite with everyone. She has always wanted to go home earlier, and now that Hu Yi is so cooperative, her confidence has increased. Well, Chu Jian quickly retracted his thoughts. He put down the wooden bow in his hand and started packing with Wen Jiu. It just so happened that Usun had nothing to do during this period, so he agreed to take Wen Jiu and others to the Jade Rabbit clan. After learning about this, the extremely enthusiastic Hu Yi took the initiative to prepare a lot of dry food for them. Although it was just some dried fish and dried vegetables, it was enough to prove the intention of his old fox family. There were also some snow foxes that Wen Jiu and Chu Jian had met during this period, and they all came to say a simple goodbye to them. Although they were only leaving for a while, many snow foxes that had been instructed by Wen Jiu, as well as those that hunted with Chu Jian, were very reluctant to leave. As for Hu Kiki and Hu Baba, when they knew that they could not accompany them, the two big foxes cried in Wen Jiu's snow house for a whole morning. In the end, it was Hu Yi who came forward and gave them a good beating, and they temporarily calmed down. Because Wen Jiu wanted to go to the Jade Rabbit clan as soon as possible, they simply packed up and prepared to set off. Master Wen, this time I will run on the ground, and you will fly in the sky to chase. Husan had also received instructions from Wen Jiu during this period, so the smile on his face was more genuine than before. Hearing this, Hu Yi, who came to see him off, couldn't help but ask curiously, what do you mean by flying in the sky? How come I didn't know that Wen Jiu could fly in the sky? Who told you to hide in the snow house every day? Mr. Fox shook his head in disappointment. I told you that Master Wen is very powerful and asked you to walk around more and communicate with each other, but you didn't listen. You even called me an old man. Hu Yi's eyes widened when he heard this. Who is hiding? Who is hiding? I was practicing hard. You old man don't understand at all. Wen Jiu stood in the cold wind expressionlessly, listening quietly to the snow foxes arguing loudly. She finally understood that in such a large tribe of snow foxes, there is no one who doesn't talk much. Even Hu Yi, who hates noise the most, is a man who never stops talking. Seeing that the other party was about to fight with Mr. Fox, she could only cough softly to remind him, it's already past 2 in the afternoon, let's set off first. Fox 3, you can change back to your original form later. I will take you flying. Remember to show the way. This time she not only wore a hat and gloves, but also took out a cold-proof mask, which can be said to be fully armed. This is the first update of the day. Please check it out. Little Angels 030. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 917 Jade Rabbit and Flying Tiger Tribe 1. Even though Hukiki and Hubaba were very reluctant to let Wen Jiu go, the two little foxes could only watch him go. Oh, master will remember to come back to pick me up, right? Hukiki looked at the figure that was about to disappear in the sky, and for some reason her nose felt sour. After he finished speaking, Hubaba on the side said firmly, "Aren't you talking nonsense? But even if the boss doesn't pick you up, she won't forget to pick me up. I'm her most capable subordinate." "Oh, I am. I'm also her most proud disciple," Hukiki retorted without showing any weakness. Seeing the two of them arguing with each other, Huyi, who was already unhappy, immediately got angry. "I think you two foxes are too idle. Why don't you follow Awu and Leojiu to the ice lake? Don't come back if you can't catch 100 fish." Hearing this, Hukiki and Hubaba immediately shut their mouths and instantly changed back to their original forms and ran away. Seeing them like this, Master Fox smiled fondly and then took his fishing rod to go fishing. Huyi did not stay here for long. She really wanted to go back to the snow house to concentrate on her cultivation. In this way, the other snow foxes who came to see her off all dispersed, leaving only Huzaosi with a gloomy expression. After he lowered his head and pondered for a while, he changed back to his original form of the same color as snow. While there were not many snow foxes around, he suddenly plunged into the snow and ran away. In the blue sky as clear as water, there were groups of cotton-like clouds. The crystal clear snowflakes fell slowly, and they became more dazzling when illuminated by the light, like small flowers with light. Such scenery is rare on other planets. However, Wen Jiu did not have the mind to appreciate the scenery. She just wanted to reach her destination quickly and eliminate the pain of being attacked by the cold wind. Instead, Chu Jian, who was standing behind, and Husan, who was held by the other party, were quietly appreciating the scenery around them. "Master Wen, do you see the big iceberg in front? If you see it, fly to the left. You will reach King Ko Garden in half an hour." Hearing this, Wen Jiu half squinted and looked forward. As expected, she saw a big iceberg. So she skillfully controlled the sword to change direction, and at the same time she increased her speed and flew to the left where Husan said. The two people and the fox flew for nearly an hour and finally saw a touch of green in the white. Is King Ko Garden the territory of the Jade Rabbit clan? Wen Jiu slowed down a little and looked at the scene below carefully. However, Husan shouted back, "No, their territory is in Dixiu Valley. But we have to find the entrance to Dixiu Valley in King Ko Garden." Hearing this, she replied thoughtfully, "I know. Then I will control the descent first, and you stay in my brother's arms." As she spoke, she began to control the long sword to slowly fall, and finally the two people and the fox landed steadily on the ground. They were stepping on the soft green grass, but behind them was an extremely cold land with heavy snow. The former was full of birdsong, flowers, grass, and trees, while the latter was freezing cold. I have to say, it was quite magical. The warm sunlight fell down, making people sweat. So Wen Jiu took off her equipment first, leaving only the innermost long sleeves and long pants, and then she looked at Husan and asked, "What now? Which direction to go?" As she spoke, she put the things back into the wisdom ring space and helped Chu Jian take off the heavy bearskin. "Wait a minute, I'll think about it," Husan said, and turned into a human form, but he still kept the fox ears and tail according to the rules of the demon clan. After he found the direction according to his memory, he took Wen Jiu and Chu Jian to the depths. Unlike the coldness of the frozen snow, the green grass garden is especially warm all year round. The green grass is soft to step on, and there are lovely little flowers everywhere. A breeze blew by, and you could smell the faint fragrance of flowers. Occasionally, birds flew out from the lush woods, chirping and singing cheerful songs. Why is there such a big difference between the snowland and the green grass garden? Aren't these two places right next to each other? Wen Jiu walked, while admiring the scenery around her. Compared to the white and icy snowland, she still liked the beautiful green grass garden more. But she was really curious, how could the climate of these two places be so different when they were so close? There is a reason for this. Husan walked slowly in front to lead the way. The Jade Rabbit tribe has little fighting power, and they will be bullied by other monster tribes wherever they go. So Lord Shen went out to find several masters with profound cultivation and built a place like Kinkeo Garden for weak monster tribes to live. The Jade Rabbit tribe, the Civet Cat tribe, and some bird tribes all live here. I almost forgot that the Rat tribe, which our leader hates the most, is also here. It's just that the Jade Rabbit tribe is a little special. There are always a few powerful monster tribes and other monster tribes, but the Jade Rabbit tribe can only farm. Therefore, the Jade Rabbit tribe was placed in the center of Kinkeo Garden by Lord Shen, which is Emperor Xiu Valley. He walked forward according to the path in his memory while patiently explaining the origin of Kinkeo Garden. But as he was talking, he suddenly heard a noise coming from the front. Master Wen, should we take a detour or go over to take a look? He quickly lowered his voice. Although most of the monster tribes living in Kinkeo Garden are very weak, they occasionally encounter monsters like him who come to find the Jade Rabbit tribe. If they were weaker than him, it would be fine. But I was afraid of encountering powerful monsters, especially those who were prejudiced against humans. I might have to fight hard to escape. Wen Jiu was thinking that it was better to have less trouble than more, and was about to say that he would take a detour, but he heard the miserable screams of a woman. She hesitated for a moment, drew the sword behind her, and ran towards the direction of the sound. To Xiao, my patience is limited. Don't be so arrogant, just because you are a member of the Jade Rabbit clan. You are nothing in front of my Flying Tiger clan. I won't give you the things. Brother, don't waste your words on her. Let's just do it. She is just ungrateful. How dare you? I'm here to deliver the things on the orders of our clan leader. Are you talking about that powerless rubbish Tumaksu? I'm really going to laugh my ass off. If you have the guts, call Tumaksu out and see if he has the ability to rescue you. You don't insult the clan leader. I saw several burly and tall young men surrounding a pitiful little girl. Wen Jiu gang listened in the bushes for a while and understood the situation. So she made a hand seal at a very fast speed, and a blue light instantly went in the direction of those people. Today's second update has also been successfully delivered. Thank you for the support of the lovely little angels. 030. Chapter 918, Jade Rabbit and Flying Tiger Tribe 2. Xiao was originally ordered by Tumaksu to send some hemostatic herbs to the Civet Cat tribe. These herbs were grown by the rabbit spirits of the Jade Rabbit tribe, and their efficacy is many times better than the wild herbs outside. If the Civet Cat tribe and the Jade Rabbit tribe had not had a good relationship, Tumaksu would not have asked her to send these herbs to support them. But she really did not expect that she would meet the Flying Tiger tribe in the green grass garden. The Civet Cat tribe was still waiting for the herbs to save their lives, and she would not hand over the herbs. Okay, it seems that you really don't take any soft or hard words, so don't blame us for being ruthless. Before the leader Wen finished speaking, he smelled a strange burnt smell. The next second Wu beside him was stunned and said, "Brother, you are on fire. You are the one who is burning my hair." Wen jumped up in shock and then shouted in panic, "What are you still standing here for? Find a way to put out the fire for me." As soon as he finished speaking, the hair of the other tigers also caught fire in the blink of an eye. Seeing this, Xiao, who was thinking about how to escape, was stunned. She looked around for a moment, then hugged the bag tightly, ready to escape from here in the chaos. But before she found a breakthrough, Wen grabbed her rabbit ears, and she almost cried in pain. Although she struggled with all her strength, she still couldn't get rid of him. There was no way. The power of the flying tigers has always been amazing. This is the innate suppression between races. Xiao, you are the one who is causing trouble. Wen gritted his teeth and said, "Don't think I dare not do it seriously. Killing a rabbit is nothing." Hearing this, Xiao resisted the pain and roared, "Then if you have the guts, do it seriously. You are a coward." Although she didn't know why the hair of these tiger spirits was on fire, she would never give up the herbs even if she died. But as soon as she finished speaking, the pain on her head disappeared. She fell to the ground, and the tears that overflowed had blurred her eyes. She only vaguely saw a slender figure. Then there were scenes of the tiger spirits screaming in pain and falling to the ground one after another. "Little girl, are you okay?" Wen Jiu didn't expect these monsters to be so weak. She just used the hilt of the sword to press a few acupoints, and they all fell to the ground one by one, crying and shouting. Hearing this, Toshiro first moved back cautiously, and then answered in a very weak voice, I'm fine. Thank you. Are you really fine? I see that your ears are scratched red. My brother is a doctor. Do you want him to help you take a look? Seeing that the little girl in front of her was on guard against her, she stepped back a few steps to show her friendliness. At this time, Chujian, who was standing not far away, had a lot of question marks on his head. How could he not know that he was a doctor? No. Toshiro was still unwilling to contact strangers. She was afraid of encountering monsters who wanted to steal herbs again. Thank you for your help just now. I will repay you in the future. After she finished speaking, she wanted to run away with her bag, but suddenly a person appeared and blocked her way as she tried to escape. Are you Toshiro? Husan smiled with surprise. I'm Husan. Do you remember me? Hearing this, she quickly wiped her tears and saw the man in front of her clearly. Seeing that the other party was indeed Husan, she finally breathed a sigh of relief. Remember. Did you save me? That's not the case. Husan had no intention of taking credit. This is a distinguished guest from our Snow Fox clan. She was the one who saved you just now. When she heard this, she turned around and saw the bright and beautiful girl standing quietly, as if she was thinking about something. The other party was still holding a long sword tightly and looked quite dangerous, which made her shudder. However, she still tried her best to suppress the fear in her heart and bowed to the other party several times to express her gratitude. Thank you for helping me defeat these bad guys. I'm Toshiro from the Jade Rabbit clan. Which demon clan are you from? Mainly because of the familiar Husan, she was much calmer at this moment and was not as panicked as before. You're welcome. It's just a small favor. Wen Jiu smiled politely and put the sword back into the scabbard. It's just that I'm not a demon. I'm a human. Hearing this, Toshiro's red eyes suddenly widened. Are you a human? When she heard this, she subconsciously wanted to escape, but Husan grabbed her wrist and held her tightly. Don't rush to run away. Although she is a human, she just saved you, which shows that she is a good person. The other party patiently explained to her, which made her mood calm down a little. But she didn't dare to talk to humans at all, so she hid behind Husan and tried to hide herself. Seeing this, Wen Jiu was very helpless. She didn't expect this rabbit spirit to be so timid. So she winked at Husan and asked him to take Toshiro to the side and explain their origins. As for her, she stayed with Chujian to deal with the monster in front of them. What kind of demons are you guys? She didn't like such demons who bullied the weak, so her tone was always cold. It's fine to bully the weak, but these guys are also trying to block them. How shameless. Hearing this, Wen, whose scalp was numb with pain, said, we are from the Flying Tiger clan. You little human, dare to hit your grandpa Flying Tiger. He thought at first that some big demon had come, but it turned out that the other party was just a little human. It was because he was anxious to put out the fire and was worried that Toshiro would take the opportunity to escape, so he was attacked without any preparation. If he was given another chance, he would definitely press this human to the ground and rub it hard. Wen Jiu couldn't help but sneer. I'm still your aunt. As she said this, she kicked Wen, causing the other party, who was already in pain all over his body, to feel double the pain. Seeing this, the other tiger spirits didn't dare to say a word. Even if the person in front of them was a human, they still beat them to a pulp. And they remembered that the elders in the tribe said that humans like to touch tigers' butts the most, and they especially like to pull out tigers' beards. Although they don't understand what this fetish is, they don't want to be touched on the butt and have their beards pulled out. So who fell to the side, was the first to beg for mercy. Master, we are wrong. Please don't touch my butt and don't pull out my beard. As soon as these words came out, the remaining two tiger spirits quickly echoed. When Jiu was silent for a while, she didn't know how to answer. How many years have these monsters not had humans? How could there be so many weird prejudices? Source. Today's third update has been delivered. Thank you again for the support of every little angel. 030. Whispering. Maybe from today on, the 3 updates will be restored. Whether there will be a 4th update depends on the author's hand speed and time. Chapter 919. Jade Rabbit Tribe and Civet Cat Tribe 1. Wen Jiu did not kill the tiger spirits. She just taught them a lesson one by one, and then let them go back to where they should go. The main reason was that they did not actually hurt Toshiro, otherwise she would never have just kicked and scolded them. I don't know how Husan talked to Toshiro. After she drove away the tiger spirits, the other party's vigilance had disappeared. Thank you Master Wen for your help. Toshiro thanked her sincerely. I hope Master Wen will not blame me. I just have to be more cautious when I go out. Hearing this, she smiled slightly to show her understanding. It's okay, it's just a little help. After saying that, she pretended to glance at Husan unintentionally. The other party was stunned for a few seconds before he understood what she meant. Shiro, it's not safe for you to deliver herbs alone. How about we accompany you to the Civet Cat tribe? Husan also deliberately softened his tone, fearing that he would scare Toshiro. Although he had a lot of contacts with the Jade Rabbit tribe and knew the tribe leader Marksu, he rarely intervened in the affairs of the Jade Rabbit tribe. Not only him, but even Hu Yi didn't care much about the private affairs of the Jade Rabbit tribe. Now Toshiro was ordered to go to the Civet Cat tribe to deliver herbs. If it were in normal times, even if he met the other party, he would not ask much, let alone accompany him. But Wen Jiu obviously wanted to make friends with Toshiro, so he had to help him win over. After the words fell, Toshiro first subconsciously hugged the bag tightly, then she lowered her head and thought for a long time before answering. Okay, but I don't have anything to give you. She was actually not willing to go with Wen Jiu and others, but she thought that, since Husan came to the green grass garden, it meant that the other party was going to the Jade Rabbit tribe. If so, she would meet them again sooner or later. It would be better for her to agree to go to the Civet Cat tribe together, so that she could observe Wen Jiu and others on the way. If she noticed anything unusual, she could ask her friends in the Civet Cat tribe to help report it. Anyway, the relationship between the Snow Fox tribe and the Jade Rabbit tribe was pretty good, and Fox 3 also knew Marksu, so he wouldn't do anything to her. It's okay, I heard from Fox 3 that the tomatoes you grow are very delicious. Wen Jiu's ability to lie with his eyes open was getting better and better. If possible, when you return to the Jade Rabbit tribe, you can give me a few tomatoes to express your gratitude. As soon as she finished speaking, Toshiro nodded happily. Okay, the tomatoes I grow are the most delicious tomatoes. I will definitely not let you down. She was stunned for a moment after hearing this. She just made up a random sentence, but she didn't expect the other party to actually grow tomatoes. This is not bad. She can just use this excuse to taste the vegetables produced by the Jade Rabbit tribe. Previously, Fox Baba always praised them at home, and she wanted to see how delicious those fruits and vegetables were. With tomatoes as a raft, Toshiro talked more. We Jade Rabbits are best at farming. Not only are the fruits we grow plump and juicy, but the vegetables are also much tastier than those grown wild outside. Hey, I almost forgot. We are also very good at cooking. My favorite dish is tomato soup. If I have a chance, I'll make a pot for you to try. We rarely eat meat, and we mainly eat vegetarian food. Well, we raise chickens, ducks, fish, geese, cattle, sheep, and pigs, but we hardly eat them. We usually take them out for exchange with other monsters. For example, a pig for a bag of corn cobs, or a duck for a bag of seeds. As they chatted, they arrived at the territory of the Civet Cat tribe unknowingly. The lush towering trees blocked the sky, so that the sun could only cast mottled fragments of light, so the temperature in this area was lower and very cool. Unlike the monsters that Wen Jiu had contacted before, the Civet Cat tribe actually lived in trees. Therefore, they could only stand under the tree and wait for the Civet Cat tribe to send out Civet Cat spirits to pick them up. Wen Jiu glanced around inconspicuously, silently sighing that these monsters were really amazing. If it weren't for Toshiro and Husan leading the way, she really couldn't tell that there were monsters living here. Just when she wanted to walk around and take a look, there was a rustling sound above her head. The next second, a heavy object suddenly fell down. She had no time to think and was thrown to the ground directly. Bold human. How dare you break into the territory of our civet cat tribe? I'll beat you. What are you doing? Wen Jiu quickly came to her senses and saw clearly what hit her. It was a civet cat spirit that had not yet grown up, and it looked like a little kitten. Seeing the other party making a fuss, she reached out and pinched the back of the other party's neck and then lifted it up. Help. Help. Someone wants to kill me. Help. Woo woo woo. Mao Zedong was panicking now. He was originally strolling on the tree, but found that a human had actually broken in. As a civet cat spirit who had dreamed of being a hero since childhood, he jumped down without even thinking about it, ready to subdue the little human with one blow. But he not only failed to subdue the other party, but was caught instead. Could it be that his civet cat life would end here? Just when he was discouraged, he saw a girl walking over not far away, with rabbit ears on her head that were very eye-catching. Rabbit. Rabbit. Help. RRRR. He just tried to shout a few words for help, and was thrown out by the hateful human. Fortunately, the rabbit spirit caught him in time, and did not let him fall to the ground and feel pain. Although it didn't hurt much to fall on the grass, he didn't want to lose face in front of humans. Are you Mao Zedong? Rabbit Shio looked at the civet cat spirit in his arms. I'm Rabbit Shio from the Jade Rabbit clan, and I'm here to give you herbs. Hearing this, Mao Zedong was about to answer when he saw the four elders of the clan appear. He closed his mouth instantly and shrank into Rabbit Shio's arms. I'm sorry, there are too many things happening in the tribe recently. The fourth elder did not transform into a human form, but appeared in the form of a raccoon cat spirit. You are the messenger sent by the rabbit chief, right? Thank you so much. Seeing this, Shio quickly put Mao Zedong on the ground, and then took off the bag on her back. It's okay. The rabbit chief was very worried after learning about the incident, so he sent me here to deliver herbs to support you. She first unfolded the bag and let the fourth elder check the herbs inside, and then handed it to him. Because the fourth elder had to hurry back to deal with important matters, he took Mao Zedong up the tree after a few words of greeting. In the blink of an eye, the two raccoon cat spirits disappeared without a trace. Oh, the diligent little author still wrote an extra chapter. Today's fourth chapter is dedicated to the cute little angels. Chapter 920 Rabbit Marksu 1. Now that the task of delivering hemostatic herbs to the civet cat tribe has been completed, it is time for Shio to set off to return to the territory of the Jade Rabbit tribe. The group walked quietly for about 10 minutes, and Shio couldn't help but curiously ask, Master Wen, may I ask why you went to the Jade Rabbit tribe? I want to talk to your tribe leader. Wen Jiu thought for a moment and revealed a little information. I have to wait until I see your tribe leader to tell you the details, but don't worry, I won't hurt your Jade Rabbit tribe. Anyway, her going to the Jade Rabbit tribe leader is not something that needs to be concealed. Besides, since Shio was sent by the tribe leader to deliver herbs, his status in the Jade Rabbit tribe must not be low. In this case, she might as well take the initiative to say it, and she can also gain Shio's favor. Fortunately, the other party is not a person who likes to get to the bottom of things, and after listening to her answer, he didn't ask any more questions. The territory of the Jade Rabbit tribe is in the mysterious Emperor Xiu Valley, and Emperor Xiu Valley is located in the center of the green grass garden. Wen Jiu followed Shio for nearly an hour before they stopped at a large lake. I have to take Husan to the tribe leader to tell him. Shio lowered her head in embarrassment. Master Wen, you know that our Jade Rabbit tribe has little fighting power, so we rarely bring outsiders. The more she spoke, the more embarrassed she felt. She almost buried her head in the ground, and her voice became weaker and weaker. Seeing this, Wen Jiu smiled friendly. It's okay, then I'll wait outside with my brother. I heard from the Fox tribe leader that your place is very special. Is there any formation? Do we need to avoid it? Yes, there is. She hesitated for a moment before answering, but you and your brother don't need to avoid it. We will come out to pick you up soon. Many demon tribes knew that there was a formation outside the Emperor Xiu Valley, so she didn't hide this matter. Seeing that Wen Jiu and the other human were not dissatisfied, she took out the Jade Rabbit tribe's token and walked to the lake. This Jade Rabbit tribe's token is interesting, Chu Jian whispered to Wen Jiu. If I'm not mistaken, it's a carrot carved from jade, right? Hearing this, Wen Jiu hesitated for a moment before applying. It doesn't look like jade, it might be some kind of rare mineral. As soon as she finished speaking, she saw Toshiro gesture with the token. The originally calm lake surface suddenly boiled, and then a whirlpool suddenly appeared on the lake surface. The next second, Toshiro pulled Fox 3 into the whirlpool. After the figures of the rabbit and the fox disappeared, the lake surface instantly returned to calm, as if nothing had happened just now. Seeing this, Chu Jian widened his eyes in surprise. Did they commit suicide by jumping into the lake? That's a formation. It's used to prevent outsiders from breaking in. Wen Jiu glanced at him speechlessly. This formation seems to be quite complicated. When it appeared just now, I couldn't find the center of the formation. When he heard the other party muttering something he didn't understand, he silently stepped back a few steps and deliberately kept a distance. Don't listen, Wen Jiu chanted. While Toshiro and Husan were away, he strolled around the lake. I don't know why, but he always felt that staying here was more comfortable than staying anywhere else. It's not the kind of comfort that comes from having a big meal or sleeping soundly, but the kind of comfort that makes you feel relaxed physically and mentally. It's as if all the worries in his heart have dissipated, making him feel happy. He walked around and came back, with a smile on his face. Jiu, does that formation have the effect of making people happy? However, before he could answer Wen Jiu, he heard a cold male voice. It's not the formation that makes you happy, but the Emperor Xiu makes people forget their sorrows. Hearing this, Wen Jiu looked back. He saw a fair-skinned young man in a green gown, carrying a sack and slowly walking towards them. The other party looked very weak and handsome, like a weak scholar. When she saw this scene, she couldn't help but complain in her heart. Could it be that the demon tribe's aesthetic for human men is the kind that she can beat 10 with one punch? It's not that she hates this image, but she thinks that Wang Fifei is like this, and so are Li Keojin and Husan. Now, with the mysterious young man carrying the sack in front of her, she has seen 4 people with the same appearance in a short time. Even if you play Candy Crush, you don't play like this, right? Just when Wen Jiu was lost in thought, the mysterious young man had already walked over. The other party threw the sack on his shoulder to the ground, and instantly the grass was bent by it. I'm Tumaksu from the Jade Rabbit clan. May I know who you two are? Hearing this, Wen Jiu finally reacted. My last name is Wen, his last name is Chu, and we came here specifically to find you, Rabbit clan leader. She had heard the argument between Toshiro and the Flying Tiger clan in the bushes before, and they mentioned that the leader of the Jade Rabbit clan was named Tumaksu. So when the young man in front of her said this, she knew that the other party was the leader of the Jade Rabbit clan. Is my name so loud? Tumaksu took out a handkerchief and wiped the sweat off her face. What do Miss Wen and Mr. Chu want to talk to me about? After he finished speaking, Wen Jiu did not rush to answer him, but looked him up and down. Seeing this, he couldn't help but chuckled. Don't worry, no rabbit dares to pretend to be me. If you two don't believe it, you can go back to Dixie Valley with me to ask. As he said this, he put away the handkerchief he used to wipe his sweat, and then took out the Jade Rabbit clan's token. As he gestured a few times in a regular manner, the originally calm lake surface began to boil. Let's go. I can't stay any longer with this bag of seeds. He put away the token and carried the sack. When Jiu saw Tumaksu so calm and couldn't help but ask curiously, aren't you afraid that we are bad people? If you have bad intentions, you can't even walk to the psychedelic lake. A trace of cunning flashed in the other party's red eyes. Didn't you find along the way that the closer you get to this lake, the fewer monsters there are? Hearing this, when Jiu finally understood. She had always thought that the formation was set up on the lake, but she didn't expect that the moment they stepped into the central area, they actually entered the range covered by the formation. However, she didn't notice it before. It seems that the master who set up the formation is really powerful. But this is also normal, she is not perfect. In terms of formations, she can only barely rank 3rd or 4th in the sect. Forget it. Tumaksu saw that she hadn't spoken for a long time and thought she didn't react. Anyway, just follow me in first. If you have anything to say, wait until I put the seeds away. Jiang today's first update has been successfully delivered. Please check it out. Little Angels. 030. Chapter 921 Rabbit Maksu 2. After Tumaksu finished speaking, she grabbed Wen Jiu's wrist and asked Chujian to hold her arm. Then the two of them and two suddenly plunged into the vortex. Wen Jiu thought that the lake water would wet her clothes, but she didn't expect that the moment she jumped in, the scene in front of her began to change. There was just a thick white fog that blocked the scenery in front of her, making everything seem unreal. In just a few seconds, the white fog dissipated. The scenery that was originally unreal like a mirage became real in the blink of an eye. I saw clouds and mist lingering in the lush mountains and forests, and the blue sky was tinged with light green, just like a pleasing landscape painting. Occasionally, a beam of light passed through the sky, like a starlight that accidentally fell, shining and attracting attention. But compared to the light in the sky, what is more amazing is the big tree quietly sitting in the center. Rabbit spirits were working in the fields not far away. If it weren't for the rabbit ears on their heads being too conspicuous, Wen Jiu and Chu Jian would have mistakenly thought that they had come to some kind of mountains, rivers, and fields, and had seen a group of hard-working humans. However, it was hard for them to say whether humans were hard-working or not, but these rabbit spirits in front of them were really hard-working. Some of the rabbit spirits were busy planting rice, some were busy harvesting wheat and corn, and some were fishing in the nearby pond. In addition to these rabbit spirits busy in the fields, some of them were pushing carts to transport goods. Everything was going on in an orderly manner, and everyone had a smile on their faces. It can be seen that the Jade Rabbit clan lives very happily in this small world. Tu Beng Beng, come here and take this bag of seeds to Tu Yuiu. I'm going to take the guests to Changle Hall to discuss something. Tumaksu summoned a little rabbit, and as soon as he finished speaking, the other party instantly transformed into a human form. Unlike his weak and vulnerable appearance, this rabbit spirit named Tu Beng Beng looks like a rough man who often works in the fields. He is the kind of guy who can be seen at a glance as a good farm worker. Chief, you are back. Tu Beng Beng easily carried the sack. My sister just brought Usan to find you. I said you went out to collect seeds and haven't come back yet, so they ran to the gate of Changle Palace to wait. Hearing this, Tumaksu smiled and nodded. I see, you go and deliver the seeds first. I'll go to Changle Palace now. Tu Beng Beng ran away as soon as he heard his words, but the other party looked back curiously halfway. Tu Beng Beng still thought he was not discovered, but in fact, the two people and one rabbit who stayed in place vaguely noticed his sight. Did Usan bring you here? Tumaksu pretended not to notice and walked in front with a smile. Wen Jiu, who was following behind, nodded. Yes, my apprentice Ukiki is from the Snow Fox clan, so I got to know the enthusiastic Usan. She explained briefly to avoid Tumaksu's misunderstanding. You actually accepted Ukiki as your apprentice? The other party's tone contained a hint of surprise. That's a rare good seedling in the Snow Fox clan. It seems that you are a real master. After hearing this, she thought for a moment before replying. It's a bit exaggerated to say that I'm a master. I'm just a human who knows some magic and Ukiki, and I became master and apprentice by chance. After all, she wanted to cooperate with the Jade Rabbit clan, so she had to explain what she could, which could also be regarded as proving her sincerity. Hearing this, Tumaksu couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. I didn't realize you were so honest. Let's get back to the point. You said before that you came to see me specially, so what did you come to see me for? Do you want to buy herbs or fruits and vegetables? Because he was facing away from Wen Jiu at the moment, the other party couldn't see his expression clearly. In fact, he had not come into contact with many humans. If you really want to count, there are no more than 10. But he knew that he couldn't show his weakness at this time, otherwise the rabbit spirits in his tribe might suffer. After all, the Jade Rabbit clan has been secluded from the world for many years, and even other demon tribes rarely interact, let alone contact with humans. For example, most of the demon tribes came to exchange prey for fruits and vegetables, and the rabbit spirits of the Jade Rabbit clan left the Emperor's Valley and found a safe place to trade. They would rather travel a long way than want outsiders to destroy the Emperor's Valley. Although there is a powerful formation guarding the Emperor's Valley, the demon tribe without a token cannot enter at all, but they still always take caution as the top priority. As for why he brought Wen Jiu into the Emperor's Valley, it was because he had been secretly observing for a long time in the dark. The other party and the other man had not been confused by the psychedelic lake, and they could even talk and laugh. Since the two passed the test of the psychedelic lake, it means that Lord Shen recognized them. In this way, he decided to take the two into the Emperor's Valley. It's both buying herbs and vegetables and fruits. Wen Jiu gave to Marksu a straight to the point move, but I'm different from those monsters. I want to buy a large number of vegetables, fruits and herbs you grow. As soon as she finished speaking, the other party stopped in a daze. What did you say? I said I want to buy your vegetables, fruits and herbs, she repeated patiently. In short, I want to cooperate with the Jade Rabbit clan. Marksu was even more confused after hearing this. Are you going to settle here? The Jade Rabbit clan occasionally trades with other monsters, but generally it is a pig for a bag of corn, or a bag of seeds for a bag of fresh vegetables and fruits. Simply put, it is barter. But he has not encountered anyone, or any demon who wants to buy in large quantities. He thought that, even if Wen Jiu decided to settle here, he would not need to buy so many fruits and vegetables and herbs. Could it be that the other party was negotiating for the Snow Fox tribe? But the Snow Fox tribe was not short of food. At most they just needed to exchange some herbs. Just as he was thinking about it, he heard Wen Jiu calmly answer, I will not settle here. I buy the ingredients you grow mainly for business. Business? Marksu was very unfamiliar with this word. Does it mean that I sell the ingredients to you, and then you sell them to other people or demons? After the words fell, the other party smiled and explained, you can also understand it this way, but I'm not simply selling ingredients, but processing the ingredients, and then selling them. Marksu fell into deep thought when he heard this. He didn't quite understand why Wen Jiu did this. Although some rabbit spirits would sell prepared meals to other demon tribes they were familiar with, those demon tribes would only come to buy once every 1 or 2 months at most. It can be said that most of the demons don't buy this stuff. Is the human world different from the demon world? Are there really so many people willing to buy it? Yay. Yay. Today's second update has also been delivered. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. Chapter 922 Chrysanthemum Tofu 1. Wen Jiu saw that Marksu was silent, so he stopped and waited quietly. She had never thought of beating around the bush at the beginning, because she felt that it was best to get straight to the point when discussing cooperation with these simple demons. Otherwise, if she kept beating around the bush, the other party would not understand, which would cause misunderstandings. No, Marksu suddenly said, you humans can't even cook. If I sell all the ingredients to you, wouldn't it be a waste? As he thought about it, he remembered something. When he was traveling before, he met a group of humans who came to travel, so he was left to have dinner. The taste was so bad, it was so hard to swallow, that the humans called it delicious, which made him almost doubt his life. Not to mention how Wen Jiu would buy the vegetables and fruits produced by the Jade Rabbit clan, just because humans' cooking was bad, and wasted the ingredients. He was unwilling to trade with them. Those demons who couldn't cook would at least ask for advice. But humans are arrogant and conceited, and they simply cannot listen to his suggestions, so he does not want to trade with Wen Jiu at all. However, after hearing what he said, the other party did not show any anger, but asked with a puzzled look, huh? Who said that humans can't even cook? I said it. Marksu angrily put her hands on her hips. It's not like I haven't seen you humans cook. I've even eaten the food you humans cook. That's simply wasting ingredients and food. When he thought about how he had kindly made suggestions at the time, but was ridiculed by those humans for not knowing how to cook, the fire in his heart rose. Hearing this, Wen Jiu sighed helplessly. It seems that Tumaksu has met a dark cooking alien, and he is the kind of person who does not cherish food at all. Otherwise the other party would not have turned against him suddenly. At first, she was still thinking about how to persuade Tumaksu to agree to cooperate. After all, the current Jade Rabbit clan seems to have everything. If she were to discuss cooperation with other food suppliers, she could just solve it by smashing star coins. But the problem is that the monsters of the Desolate Star don't need star coins at all, so this method is naturally not feasible. So she was thinking seriously about how to impress Tumaksu. Fortunately, the other party was not very smart and gave her a chance. Don't get excited, Rabbit Chief. Listen to me first. Wen Jiu cleared his throat and began to perform. In fact, I purchase ingredients not only for business, but also to let more people eat delicious meals, and to promote the traditional culture of our ancient China. I guess you also know that many humans can't cook and waste precious ingredients. And I feel very sad about this. You don't know that many recipes in the human world have been lost now, and with substitutes like nutrient solution, most humans can't cook. When she said this, she pretended to cover her chest with a heartache, and a line of tears instantly slid down her face, which shocked Chujian, who was eating melons on the side. Although the nutrient solution is indeed a good thing, I still hope that everyone will not forget that food is also a very valuable culture. So I successfully entered the college by picking up garbage and buying junk. Before she finished speaking, Tumaksu asked in confusion, is there any connection between promoting food culture and entering the college? The college is a place for studying, right? Yes, listen to me, and I will tell you slowly. She sniffed with red eyes. It was precisely to promote food culture and let more people know what real food is that I resolutely entered the college cafeteria to work. The cafeteria is where students go to eat lunch and dinner. I started with Chyankan potatoes and Yangchan noodles. Then she told Tumaksu the bitter story of her journey. The other party's red eyes became even redder, and he almost shed tears. Chujian was still interested in listening to the story at first, but he turned his back silently after hearing the end, because he was afraid that Tumaksu would see him laughing. Being able to talk about earning star coins so deeply and righteously is also a special skill of Wen Jiu. The most important thing is that the other party was not lying, he just told the story in a different way. After Wen Jiu roughly told the story, Tumaksu sniffed hard. I really didn't expect that Master Wen would work so hard to promote food culture. You must have been a rabbit spirit from our Jade Rabbit clan in your previous life. He really didn't expect that Wen Jiu would work in the cafeteria to promote food culture. Now, in order to open a dessert shop and a hotel, the other party is even willing to pay for fresh ingredients. He will never meet another human being who loves food so much. Hearing this, Wen Jiu's crying scene almost broke down. Please do not speculate about her past life. She was not a rabbit spirit in her past life. Rabbit Chief, are you willing to do me this favor? She squeezed out 2 more bean-sized tears. Everyone has the responsibility to promote food culture, and rabbits have the responsibility too. Let us create a galaxy without dark cuisine. As soon as she finished her words, Tumaksu immediately replied, okay. I'm willing to be your strongest backing. Your ingredients will be, from now on. Wait, Master Wen, can you really cook? Although Hu Yi and Hu Baba said that these rabbit spirits are very simple, but Tumaksu, as the chief of the tribe, still has a little brains. It's just that the word simple has always been associated with the word easy, to deceive for Wen Jiu. So she replied without hesitation, of course. If you don't believe me, I can show you how to cook. After hearing this, Tumaksu continued to move forward. Then let's do this. Changle Palace happens to have a kitchen. Show me your cooking skills. If you pass the test, we can talk about cooperation. He just listened to Wen Jiu's story, and his emotions came up. He almost accepted the other party's cooperation request. Fortunately, he woke up in time, and did not agree to it. Sure enough, Grandpa was right. Humans are really scary. However, he was still very interested in the cooperation proposed by Wen Jiu, but he wanted to see if the other party really liked cooking. Hearing this, Wen Jiu immediately made a gesture that it was okay, let's go, it's time to have dinner now. As she said this, she followed forward and did not forget to pull Chu Jian together. Tumaksu thought she was very smart and found a way to test the truth. Little did she know that she dug this pit and waited for the other party to jump in. This is the third update of today. Thanks again to the little angels for their support. Whisper, the fourth update will be dropped irregularly. The 3 updates of the day will definitely be delivered. Chapter 923 Family Planning 2. Husan, is that human really that powerful? Shio was waiting at the door of Changle Palace. The main reason was that the rabbit spirit guarding in front of the palace said that the clan leader had not returned yet, so she could only wait outside Changle Palace with Husan. After the words fell, the other party quickly replied, she is really powerful. Not only can she fly with a sword, but she can also refine pills. Moreover, during her time in our Snow Fox tribe, she has taught many snow foxes. Some snow foxes that were stuck in the bottleneck of cultivation broke through immediately after they realized it. Is she so powerful? She didn't expect Wen Jiu to have such a skill. Then can I ask her for some advice? After hearing her words, Husan hesitated for a moment before answering. It depends on Master Wen. I dare not make a promise casually. When she heard this, she realized that she was a little rude just now. Just when she wanted to apologize to Husan, she saw Tumaksu and Wen Jiu coming over. Seeing this, she was stunned for a moment and then stepped forward to greet them. From what you said, I feel that you know a little about cooking. Tumaksu was discussing cooking techniques with Wen Jiu, but I can also make the raincoat cucumber you mentioned, so don't think of fooling me with this kind of dish. Hearing this, Wen Jiu smiled. I know that Chief Rabbit is good at cooking, and his cooking skills are better than those of ordinary rabbits, so don't worry, I won't fool you. She just brought out a few dishes for discussion to test Tumaksu's culinary attainments. Judging from the conversation just now, Tumaksu's cooking level should be comparable to hers. However, she did not jump to conclusions directly. After all, she had not eaten Tumaksu's cooking yet, so she had to be cautious before doing so. Stop flattering me. Tumaksu was obviously very happy, but she still had to pretend to be serious. Later, you cook 3 dishes and I will cook 3 dishes. If you beat me, we will talk about cooperation. If you lose, let me think about it. If you lose, you have to admit that human cooking is super bad. Chu Jian, who was a little behind, almost laughed out loud when he heard this. What's the point of admitting that human cooking is bad? The rabbit spirit in front of him was so serious. And no matter how you look at it, Wen Jiu will not lose this bet. He was really curious about what this rabbit spirit was thinking. Okay, is there a time limit or other requirements? Wen Jiu did not treat this matter as a joke and discussed it seriously with Tumaksu. Hearing this, Tumaksu drooped his rabbit ears and thought for a while. I don't know what dish you are going to cook, so I won't set a time. I can't think of other requirements for the time being, so just ignore them. Wen Jiu nodded after hearing this. She had probably thought of what dish to cook, but she didn't know if the Jade Rabbit clan had the ingredients. The man and the rabbit discussed until they reached the entrance of Changle Palace, and they ran into Shio and Husan, who had entered the Emperor's Valley first. Chief. Shio ran over quickly. Did you meet Master Wen? She didn't wait for Tumaksu to ask, and quickly recounted the whole story. From when she was robbed by the Flying Tiger clan, to Wen Jiu's rescue, and finally back to the psychedelic lake. I wanted to ask you for instructions, and then go out to pick up Master Wen after you agree, she said here, lowering her head a little embarrassedly. I didn't expect you to run into Master Wen. Hearing this, Tumaksu suddenly realized, so you and your brother were in the psychedelic lake to wait for Shio to pick you up. At first he thought that when Jiu and others came to visit their Jade Rabbit clan after hearing the legend of DXIU Valley and discussing cooperation was just a cover. He didn't expect that they really came to see him and really wanted to cooperate with the Jade Rabbit clan. Fortunately, he didn't rush to take Wen Jiu and others to see DXIU, otherwise it would be embarrassing. yes. Wen Jiu pretended not to notice his awkward expression. Since we meet now, why don't we go to Changle Palace together? They can also be judges. After hearing this, he quickly agreed. Yes, 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 that. Shao, go find a few more rabbit spirits. Master Wen and I are going to compete. Let them come and be judges to vote. To Shao, who was suddenly called out, was stunned for a moment, but she quickly came to her senses and ran away. Although she was a little timid, she acted steadily and did things properly, so she was Tu Marxu's right-hand man. Even if the other party only gave a few simple instructions, she knew what kind of rabbit spirit to find. First of all, the most fair elder in the tribe must be invited, and secondly, an ordinary rabbit who is also good at cooking. The former is in charge of justice, and the latter is responsible for judging. After Shao left, Tu Marxu took Wen Jiu and his party into Changle Hall. This Changle Hall actually has some of the splendor of a palace, and it is magnificent and antique. However, unlike the palace of the emperor on Earth, Changle Hall is not exclusive to the tribe leader Tu Marxu. Therefore, there are many little rabbits that have not yet transformed in the hall, as well as rabbit spirits chasing after them with bowls of rice. Don't be surprised, these are little rabbits that were born not long ago, Tu Marxu explained as she led the way. Their parents are busy with farming and breeding, so they sent the little rabbits to Changle Palace. This way, the parents can focus on their careers, and the little rabbits can get better care. When the little rabbits are fully intelligent, they will be sent back to their parents. As we all know, rabbits have a strong reproductive capacity. Other monsters may get pregnant once a year and give birth to 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 cubs at a time. But rabbits are different. Not only can they get pregnant 5 or 6 times a year, they can also give birth to a whole litter of cubs at a time. Too many cubs will affect the rabbit spirit's farming and breeding, so Tu Marxu's grandfather's grandfather thought of a way to contribute the large and spacious Changle Palace as a place for the cubs to live in their childhood. Anyway, only the clan leader lives in Changle Palace, and many rooms are idle. It is better to use them to raise cubs and reduce the burden on the rabbit spirits. Hearing this, Wen Jiu nodded with understanding. I see. This is a mixture of a nursery and a kindergarten. Tu Marxu didn't know what a nursery and a kindergarten were, but he could roughly guess what they meant just by hearing the names. Therefore, he didn't ask much and took Wen Jiu and others to avoid the bunnies running around and entered the kitchen with difficulty. I say, Chief Rabbit, are you really not going to consider implementing family planning? Every time Foxson saw the bunnies flooding the Changle Palace, he felt his scalp tingling. Fortunately, their Snow Fox clan didn't have so many cubs, otherwise Foxy would have just dropped the bowl and ran away. After the words fell, Tu Marxu, who had just been educated by Foxy about what family planning was some time ago, shook his head and said, I have discussed this with the elders. In fact, the current number of bunnies is within our acceptable range, so there is no need to implement family planning. I said I would resume updating 3 times a day, but I have been very diligent in updating the extra chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 924, A Comparison 1. Since Tu Marxu said so, Husan couldn't persuade them anymore. After all, it was not appropriate for him to interfere in the affairs of the Jade Rabbit clan. So he quietly pulled a chair and sat down, and did not forget to invite Chu Jian to rest together. He just heard the conversation between Wen Jiu and Tu Marxu. The man and the rabbit were going to have a cooking competition, and he didn't know how long it would take. But it didn't matter. He had plenty of time, as long as there was delicious food. Chu Jian saw that Husan wanted to take him to rest, so he first went to Wen Jiu to say a few words in private. After the other party said that he didn't need help, he pulled a chair over and sat down. After all, this place is a kitchen, and there won't be a sofa or anything. If you need any ingredients, go to the warehouse and get them. Tu Marxu was already very alert. You should be able to understand the signs on the warehouse, right? They are vegetables, fruits, and meat. If there are ingredients you want to use but can't find, you can tell me. And all the kitchen utensils here are free for you to use, as long as they are not damaged. Hearing this, Wen Jiu smiled and nodded, then glanced around the kitchen. Perhaps because the jade rabbits have been secluded from the world for a long time, the kitchen utensils and stoves are a bit simple. There are no induction cookers, rice cookers, food processors, and even no blenders, graters, ovens, etc. In short, everything has to be done by hand. But this is not a difficult task for her, and the 3 dishes she is going to make don't require any high-tech products. So she walked into the warehouse, where the vegetables were stored first, and a cool breeze blew towards her instantly. The jade rabbits don't even have electricity, so naturally there are no refrigerators. Therefore, in order to keep the ingredients in the warehouse fresh, the rabbit spirits made a lot of ice cubes and piled them into walls. It can be said that a cold storage was built. After Wen Jiu carefully looked around, she found that there were quite a few vegetables here. As long as she wanted, she could find them in the warehouse. It seems that the Jade Rabbit clan really likes farming, and they grow all kinds of vegetables. Not bad, not bad. She must win this cooperation. So she regained her seriousness and began to select the vegetables to be used. Because when Jiu entered the vegetable warehouse first, 2 Marksu went to the fruit warehouse. Just as one person and 1 rabbit were selecting ingredients, 2 Bang Bang suddenly knocked on the kitchen door. "Brother Husan, where is our clan leader?" She did not enter the kitchen, but just poked her head out. Hearing this, Husan, who was chatting with Chujian, turned his head and said, "I went in to find ingredients." "Okay, then please tell him later. I took those rabbit spirits to Kingai Hall." After she finished speaking, she quickly closed the kitchen door. Then she trotted all the way to Kingai Hall, only to see that the dining table was full of rabbit spirits. The white-haired grandmother sitting in the highest position was the great elder of the Jade Rabbit clan. When the other party saw her running in, he smiled lovingly. "Are Emozu and Master Wen cooking?" Hearing this, she shook her head and replied, "Not yet, they are selecting ingredients." As soon as she finished speaking, a middle-aged man frowned in dissatisfaction. "It's just nonsense. It's okay to let humans enter the Emperor Xiu Valley, but they actually brought humans to Changle Palace, and now they want to compete with humans in cooking skills. This is really outrageous. If we bump into the little rabbit cubs, or let humans know the existence of Emperor Xiu, then our Jade Rabbit clan will be in great trouble." "Grandma you are too spoiled." Before the man finished speaking, the elder slapped the table. Seeing this, the rabbit spirits who were invited to come lowered their heads and dared not speak. They were all ordinary rabbit spirits without status, and they didn't dare to say anything in front of the elders. Shio didn't know what to do for a while, but as to Emozu's subordinate, she had to take charge of the situation. So she mustered up her courage and said, "Fourth elder, Master Wen is actually very good. Not only did she save me, she also escorted me to the Civet Cat tribe. And Fox 3 also told me that Master Wen is in the Snow Fox tribe." However, she had only said a few words when the 4th elder said angrily, "You know she is not acting. What Master Wen, Master Ling, Master Hot, you are young, and have never been in contact with humans. You are very easy to be deceived, you know." She was stunned when she heard this, and didn't know how to answer for a while. Fortunately, the eldest elder finally spoke. "Okay." The tribe leader took the initiative to bring the person in, and the other party also passed the test of the psychedelic lake, so don't say anything more here. "Grandma you. 2 Marksu has only been the tribe leader for a few years. It's okay that he is young and ignorant, but why do you protect him like this?" The 4th elder became more and more angry, but as he spoke, he found that he couldn't speak, and he was so scared that his face turned pale. The eldest elder still had a loving smile on his face, but the arc of his mouth was lower than before. "Okay, Shio, go pour me and the 4th elder a cup of tea." She glanced at the 4th elder with a cold look in her eyes. "Remember, the 4th elder's throat seems to be uncomfortable. You should put a chamomile in the tea." Hearing this, Shio first glanced at the pale 4th elder, and then she quickly ran out of the Kingai Hall to make tea. I don't know what happened to the 4th elder. He actually dared to get angry in front of the great elder. Everyone in the Jade Rabbit clan knows that Tumaksu is the grandson of the Great Elder, and the fourth elder was banned from speaking, which was considered to be a mercy from the other party. Forget it, it's none of her business anyway, she just does what she is told. Tumaksu, who was processing the ingredients at the moment, had no idea what happened in the Kingai Hall. He planned to make 3 dishes. 3 fresh dishes, boiled cabbage, and candied sweet potato, and the boiled cabbage needed to be boiled in a pot of broth, so he had to match all kinds of meat to make soup. But he was not really good at processing meat. After all, he is a rabbit spirit, so naturally he prefers to eat vegetarian food. But there is another reason, that is, the stomach of rabbit spirits is not suitable for digesting high-fat food. Therefore, he rarely cooks meat dishes on weekdays, so naturally he is a little unfamiliar with handling meat. While chopping pork, Tumaksu secretly observed Wen Jiu. The other party processed the ingredients very quickly, and with quite skilled techniques. It seemed that he was really good at it. I don't know what dish Wen Jiu was going to make. After simply processing the meat, the other party took out a bag of flour and started kneading the dough. Is he going to make dumplings? Or steamed buns? After a few sneaky glances, Tumaksu retracted his gaze and continued to make his own. However, he didn't know that he guessed right. Wen Jiu really planned to knead the flour to make buns. Today's first update has been delivered smoothly. Thank you little angels for your support. 030. Chapter 925. Comparison 2. But Wen Jiu was not going to make ordinary steamed buns. She was going to make a crab roe soup dumpling. It happened that, when she went to the meat warehouse, she found the fresh river crabs that the rabbit spirits had just put in. Although the crab roe of the river crabs was not much, and the taste was not as good as that of the hairy crabs. But at the moment, only river crabs were available, and she believed in her skills. Even ordinary river crabs could be sublimated after passing through her hands. After she quickly kneaded the dough, she put the dough aside. Then she brought the basin full of river crabs and took a basin of clean water and began to wash the river crabs slowly and carefully. In addition to this crab roe soup dumpling, she also wanted to make a chrysanthemum tofu and a stir-fried pork. The main reason was that the former was a bit laborious to make, so she chose to solve the former first. After the crab roe soup dumpling was put into the steamer, it would not be too late for her to start making the latter. It was just that it was not easy to make a crab roe soup dumpling. Making stuffing, kneading dough, rolling dough, pinching buns, steaming, etc. Each of these steps had very strict requirements. Many chefs who are good at making crab roe soup dumplings will not easily teach the method to outsiders. She also learned how to make this dish by chance. It's just that she hasn't made it for a long time. Although the recipe is kept in her mind, it's inevitable that she will be a little unfamiliar when making it. But it's not a big problem. You will get familiar with it after making it more. When Wen Jiu thought of this, he was immediately full of energy, and even the speed of washing river crabs became faster. Seeing this, Husan, who was sitting leisurely, ate a melon seed. Master Chu, I don't mean anything else. Can Master Wen really cook? He handed the sunflower in his hand to Chu Jian, asking him to pick a few melon seeds on it to satisfy his craving. Of course, my sister knows everything. Chu Jian raised his chin with pride. Her cooking skills are amazing. You'll know when you try it later. Hearing this, he raised his eyebrows in surprise. Really? Then why didn't I see Master Wen cooking when I was in the Snow Fox tribe before? Point because it's too cold in Yorgada. Chu Jian tried to imitate Wen Jiu's accent and repeated the words. He laughed when he heard this. The territory of the Snow Fox tribe is in the snowy land, so it is naturally cold. I didn't expect that such a powerful Master Wen would be afraid of the cold. But he didn't dare to say this in front of Chu Jian, lest the other party go back and complain to Wen Jiu. So he rolled his eyes and changed the topic. Is Master Wen's cooking skills really better than the Jade Rabbit clan? Chu Jian first took a handful of melon seeds and then ate them while whispering, you will know after you try them later. Why are you so talkative today? He would not fall into the trap set by Husan. He was not a fool like Zikingayu. If he said that Wen Jiu's cooking skills were better, Tumaksu might be unhappy. But if he said that Tumaksu was better for the sake of appearance, then it would hurt Wen Jiu's heart. There is a saying that trouble comes from the mouth. Anyway, Husan got along well with him before, and they went hunting together several times, and he knew what kind of temper he had. Even if he responded so bluntly, Husan would not be dissatisfied. Oh, I just asked a few more questions. The other party pretended to be angry and turned his mouth away. I won't share my melon seeds with you. If you want to eat, go and get them yourself. After saying that, Husan took back the sunflower. But he wasn't really angry, he just wanted to find a place to get back at. So he was silent for only a quarter of an hour, and then he continued to pull Chujayan to eat melon seeds and chat. The situation here did not attract Wen Jiu's attention, because she was concentrating on cooking. She put the cleaned river crabs into the steamer before, and then began to deal with the ingredients for the other two dishes. Because making crab roe soup dumplings also requires boiling broth, there is no need to boil soup separately for making chrysanthemum tofu. What she has to do now is to cut the tofu into a flour. Fortunately, the rabbit spirits of the Jade Rabbit clan all know how to make tofu, and there are many finished products in the warehouse, so she doesn't need to start from grinding soy milk. So she took out a piece of tofu first, and pressed a circle on it with a utensil. Then she sprinkled a small amount of water on the tofu, took out the kitchen knife, and started to cut it quickly. After cutting it vertically, she moved the tofu, sprinkled a little water, and then continued to cut it. Seeing this, Rabbit Maksu, who had just boiled the soup, couldn't help but look over curiously. When he first saw Wen Jiu holding the tofu, he thought he was going to make mapo tofu. But Wen Jiu cut it again and again, almost cutting the whole piece of tofu into foam. Master Wen's knife skills are good. Husan was so shocked that he almost dropped the sunflower in his hand when he saw Wen Jiu's knife skills that were almost like phantoms. What kind of dish is this? Mapo tofu or fish head tofu soup? But if you use such a knife method to cut tofu, I'm afraid it will become a pile of foam after cutting. After speaking, Chujayan took the sunflower from his hand. Why are you in such a hurry? Anyway, it's for us to eat when it's done. Just wait quietly. I'm just curious. He didn't realize that the sunflower had flown away and was still looking at it with interest. I know there is a dish called rotten meat and cowpeas. Could it be that Master Wen is going to make rotten tofu and cowpeas? Chujayan almost couldn't hold back his laughter when he heard this. What kind of magical dish is rotten tofu and cowpeas? Fortunately, Husan could associate it. But he still suppressed his smile and kept a cold face and replied, I told you not to worry, you will know sooner or later. In fact, he was also very curious about what dish Wen Jiu was going to cook. He had never seen Wen Jiu cook with this tofu before. Seeing that he was like a clam, he couldn't pry out a word, so he moved his chair angrily and pretended to break up. Seeing this, he handed over the sunflower in his hand. I won't take advantage of you, your sunflower. Without waiting for the other party to answer, he stood up and took a sunflower from the side. Trying to pry words out of his mouth is like washing your hair upside down. When Husan saw him do this, he quietly moved his chair back and pretended that nothing had happened just now. But the movement on their side never attracted the attention of Wen Jiu and Tumaksu. The man and the rabbit were concentrating on cooking and had no intention of interacting with the two audiences. Especially when Jiu. Tumaksu would at least look up and sneak a few glances at him. But she just kept her head down preparing the ingredients, as if there was no one else around. Seeing this, Husan couldn't help but sigh softly. Maybe this is the style of a chef. When cooking, the chef is completely focused. He didn't expect that. As soon as he finished speaking, Wen Jiu looked up at him, which made him feel inexplicably guilty. How could he know that Wen Jiu was not a so-called chef, but because the chrysanthemum tofu and crab roe soup dumplings were too difficult to make, the other party had to devote himself to cooking. Just when he wanted to lower his head and pretend to be an ostrich, he suddenly heard Tumaksu exclaim. The second update has also been successfully delivered. Please check it out, little angels. 030. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.